should change DDR. I wonder, can I? Yeah, I can. Save. Share this. Copy. Hey, updated. Nice. That's pretty. That's actually pretty neat. Okay. Where's my thing? Okay. Alright, let's load up some DDR tunes. See, DDR. I want to look up Sakura. That song's been stuck in my head for some time. DDR Sakura. Was it DDR Dance Revolution Supernova? No, it was Extreme. Was it Extreme 2? It was Extreme 2. Let me see. This used to be crazy. This he's playing this on heavy. Someone's playing this on heavy. Da, 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 da. This song was wild. Like, I'm looking at this and I'm like, this looks kind of easy. Like, I think I could do this. But then after a while, I'm like, nah. I would probably catch an asthma attack before I'm like halfway through this song. The slowest step. This part always messed me up. Everything after that just messes me up. And this doesn't even look hard. I would probably, on my best day on this song, I might probably get like a C or an F. Revan G, baby. I love how they always tease that, be like, oh, you got a AAA. Not, you got an A. Hang on, let's see some Extreme 2 music. Extreme 2 really had some... They had some potato mashers and bangers. Not that. Song list. We could do song list. The USA version. This was a good song. I am not over this song. I'm not over that. Really dope track. I used to hate this song. Never mind. I actually hated this song to dance to. Okay, I'm just gonna pause this real quick. A lot of the music here, like in the very first category of songs, like basically songs that you just get the moment you play the game and you turn it on for the first time and everything, a lot of the first songs here were so cringe. I never understood how they even got to this playlist. Like I hate it, especially when like the first world or two or levels or two that you play in the campaign of DDR, you had to play these songs. So the first few moments of DDR Extreme 2 was just cringe. But then as you progress along the campaign and you unlock new songs, the music gets better. It gets much better. I just hated this music. Nah, let me stop. I used to hate these songs. This was probably one song I could kind of appreciate of all of them. Yo, they had Beyonce's track in this, but it was like a cover. This was a good one. I think Sean Paul. I think Sean Paul had like two songs. I think it was like Get Busy and I think Temperature? I think Temperature was another song he had. I don't know what game, but he definitely had it. This this is another random ass song. I don't know how they got it in there. Oh, this is a classic. You don't hear these in the clubs anymore. This was the track. This was probably like the best song that they had in this particular like bracket. Like these are a lot of like easy songs like I guess you could say like the Western countries were more familiar with. But I will say My was a really good song. Like this song I really appreciated. Akira and Susan Z. Like, where's Britney Spears? Where was Britney? I never understood the covers. Probably Britney Spears had a high price tag like Beyonce. This is a good song, definitely. I hated this fucking song. This song was like a blast my brains out. This was pretty good. This is the anthem right here. This had to be the anthem of my DDR journey. Can't go wrong with this song. This was nice. This was okay. This is an okay song. DJ Simon. This was a headbanger right there. I'd be loving this song for sure. This song was okay. It was a fun song to dance to. There are some songs that you don't even have to like the song. You just know it's a fun song to dance to. And it really suits DDR. I'll never forget this song. Someone's like, it's like Naruto. This was an okay song. Like, if I was in a special mood, I'd probably dance to this. Extreme 2 had like a decent track of songs. Like, there was a few misses, but a lot of them were pretty good. Like, I wouldn't mind dancing to this entire list. With a few exceptions. Really? Akira Yamaoka? Yamaoka? This is a good song. This is a feel-good track. This is a good song. La Bam... Not the Mexican folk song. I was like, you guys couldn't do the research to know who sung this? Hey, what's going on? Orange Lounge actually made this song?
Where's your girlfriend?
She's at work.
Alright,
I'll see you around. This is a weird song. I like this song. I don't know, man. Like, there was something about this song that tugged at my heartstrings. I vaguely remember this song, but I think the music video behind this was actually kind of dope. What is this? We just listened to this song. This song will forever be my rival song. This was the jam. Yes. I really like this song. I was in a good mood listening to this. And this was a banger. This little section right here, I remember, was so awesome. Like, I could go down this particular, like, section of music, and I feel like I have, like, home field advantage. By June. Sounds okay. A little bit on the corny side, but it was still an okay song to dance to. This was a nice track. I like this one. Oh, I remember this one, B. the music kind of stood out on its own. You gotta move it. I remember, yeah, this is an alright song. Kind of chill. This song was unnecessarily chaotic. Not Afro Nova, like primeval. You know what's funny? I always notice like DDR is not complete without a Naoki song. Like you gotta have at least one Naoki song in a DDR like game for it to be complete. See, that's why the PlayStation 3 version of this game failed. They didn't have Naoki. This was a nice one. Chill song, but it was very challenging. Like you could tell by the light difficulty how much step in was required. Oh, this is the challenge section. Of course, there's always gonna be like a mix of these songs. There's always like a different variation of the music. Like I could have sworn we just played this song just like 2 minutes ago, and it sounds exactly the same. Like no, these two songs are the same. Yes, I know one is a mix, but these two sound exactly the same. All they did was like turn up like the bass, and it's like that's it. I don't feel there was much variety when it came to their mixes, unless it was like deliberate. Extreme 2 was really good. They had really good music. I really miss Extreme 2. I have a PlayStation 2, but I only have Supernova Part 1. Part 2 was welcoming, but Supernova 1 was much better. I didn't like Supernova 2. I didn't like the story mode, how they set that up. It didn't sit right with me. I don't like it. Let me see. Supernova. Yeah, like Supernova DDR. I don't think there's actual gameplay, honestly. Oh, this is the PlayStation. We're going to check the PlayStation 3 later on, but oh my god, I did not like PlayStation 3 version. Nope, 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 nope. There was a lot of misses. And I always say this to people, like I really feel that DDR for the PlayStation 3 was, it had potential, but they were too committed to being American friendly. Like I think they were trying to reach out to the American audience more, and it just didn't pan out very well, because if there's one thing that I mention many times when it comes to DDR is great. You can add American music, it's fine, but I don't think they know how to choose good like American music or Western music in DDR. Like that's the area that they always miss. I don't know, it's because a lot of music from the West don't really do well unless you're trying to add, say, like some electronic music, which you could throw in easy, but they try to throw in like pop music, and I think that's more so for casual players of DDR. Like, oh, I love listening to Sean Paul Temperature. Let me dance to some Sean Paul Temperature. But if you take the game a little bit seriously, like you're really committed to, you know, like getting your grades and everything, you want to play like some really good DDR music, a lot of people will look at the American music that DDR chooses and it's like, okay, like this is cringe. You know, like listening to like what's her name? Natasha Bedingfield? Is that her name? Natasha Bedfield? It's like or Kelly Clarkson, Since You Be Gone. You don't. you don't imagine DDR touching on that, but they do, and they make it work. I don't know. Beats me. I can't do it though. Wait, PS2 DDR Supernova full song. Let's see. I remember me, my sister, my cousins, we would be in this shit every time they would come over or we would come over to their house. It was always DDR. I felt like that was like like it's like us going to the gym, but the gym was Dance Dance Revolution, and the room we would be in to dance would be sweaty as hell. Like we would get sweat on the walls from how sweaty we was over this game. We were athletes when we were younger. Like, we were freaking athletes. The one thing I do appreciate for DDR is that they did have, like, certain game modes where it's like you could practice and you could adjust the speed so you get a better idea, you know, on how to dance to this song. Some songs you're weak at and you just want to perfect it. I will appreciate DDR for that. They were very friendly with, like, people practicing. It wasn't like, oh, you gotta play these songs, and if you suck, well, you suck. Get good, you know? I can appreciate DDR for that. Like, like this song. It's okay, you know, DDR. But then there's this. Why? I was like, why this song? And it's funny because there is some American music that's like really, I don't mind, I vibe with. Like David Bowie's Let's Dance. Yes. Yes. Like this is like, okay, I can appreciate this. It's a little funny song for DDR, but I can still appreciate it, you know? And I like how they had the music video and whatnot. Pretty cool. This was a, all right. Like this is like it's this, and then you're about to have Kelly Clarkson, and it's like, oh, how did this music get in here? I mean, no respect to Kelly Clarkson. I mean, this song is a gem. You know, it's a classic. But I don't understand how it got to DDR. All right, it's sort of a dance track. I'll give it to him. And but then you look at this song. Like, how did they get this in here? I get maybe they're trying to be diverse with their music and try to add some pop music that we all know. But even then, it's like you don't have to throw it in DDR. Like, there's plenty of other songs that would fit DDR so well. Was a guilty pleasure of mine. I fucked with this song. I actually preferred the Jammin' Raga mix than this version, which is the original. This was good, and then the mix Del Matador was even better. Play it. Play the shit. Yes! Sean the Horny Master! Let's go! This was the shit! It was lit after that. I was so happy to unlock this song, man. Innocence of Silence. Nice track. I fucked with it. I just love how, like, whenever you go down, like, a song list in DDR, it just gets gradually better. This I could appreciate. This was a good song to dance to. And it wasn't even difficult too, so it's like a song you could actually enjoy as you're dancing to it. And of course the mix of that. Another guilty pleasure. I just loved how hype it was. Because sometimes like I just I like it's a little bit weeb, but it was like some fast weeb. Like give me some fast weeb shit, like, you know? But a lot of these songs were okay. But if I had to choose between Supernova and Extreme 2, probably Extreme 2? Maybe? I'm leaning more to Extreme 2 than Supernova. D Crew was a very interesting artist that I followed in DDR. Like, every time I saw their name, I was like, oh, it's pretty good. I'm gonna have to dance to this. I don't know. I was a weirdo as a teen. I don't know why I appreciated this song so much. It was such a messy ass song, but I still liked it a little bit. I don't know why. I don't I don't know. There was something about it that I liked. I don't know what it was. This was a hot track. This was beautiful. And it was a challenging song too. Quick Master Act Deft. Act that's a name, Act Deft. It sounds like such a default DDR song. Never mind, this is a default DDR song. It's like this is a default DDR music right here. By Ryu though. Yeah, Rainbow Rainbow was pretty good. Red Zone was hype. Definitely. Ladybug! What are we simulating? What do you mean what are we simulating? Right now we're just playing some DDR. We're just looking through like the songs. We're a bit on a nostalgic trip because lore-wise, I used to play Dance Dance Revolution. It really, I don't even know what year it was. I think it was back in 2007? 2008? And the DDR was bought from my sister, my younger sister. But then I started to like it. And next thing you know, I literally said, it's Miss Bonita to you, sir. Sir. Miss Bonita, how's everything? I have to get used to everyone's names on YouTube, so I do apologize. What's going on? Damn, I haven't spoken to you in a long time. Damn. We out here. We're just out here just reminiscing on some DDR music. But yeah, I used to play this like back in 2008. My sister jumped on it, and we had like a couple cousins that jumped on this. Like again, it was like me and my fam just heading out to the gym. It's been forever. Yes, it has. Can I just do a heart? Yes? Yes. Okay. Yes, it has. I just clicked on the heart thing. I don't know what that does, but yes, of course. It's been a while. But yeah, I'm just here on YouTube. Keep that in mind, y'all. I'm always on YouTube. I'm kind of like done with Twitch. New beginnings and everything. I kind of feel I have more, I guess, freedom here for the most part. I have more flexibility. So yeah, it's been nice here. But we just out here just listen to some DDR music because I've been feeling very nostalgic today. But what's going on, Noel? How's everything, man? Dude, I don't understand this. They got this in here. But yeah, like I think I stopped playing DDR like when the PlayStation 3 had its own, and I kind of got turned off by it. This was the most epic. The music video behind this was crazy. When you dance and you see the music video as you're dancing, that shit was hype. The music video itself was hype. It was like an anime opening. Like you had to tune into that shit. And then there's music like this. Naoki, let's go. Coming back with another hot track. Yo, I walk out of my room after playing DDR engulfed in flames. I was sweating bullets, but I'm still engulfed in flames coming out of there. And it'd be like, Devon, what's wrong with you? Naoki dropped another one. Another anime banger right here. I forgot. You're gonna also be using like emojis here, so I'm gonna be like, "Where's that from? Where you get this? what streamer got this?" Let me see. B4U was also another artist I followed very closely with DDR. Like, they had some songs that I actually liked. I actually subscribed to their music. Okay, I know those. I know those. Yeah, this category was a miss for the most part. Like, the previous category was my favorite part of this. I'm not sure if there's other better ones. This was good. Oh, again, another one from Before You. This is why I loved Before You. They had some really good music. Miss Benita, you played DDR before? Have you ever hit the arcades at Dave & Buster's and just decided to, you know, stomp on some arrows? Zombie stop. She's like, yes, I have. Yo, you probably look back at this, you're like, oh man, these songs. This was a banger. Hearing the drums was lit. She said I did bad. I think we all did bad. I had asthma. Every time I lost, I'd be like, I have asthma. Hang on, guys, I have asthma. My ankles are just there like, okay, so fuck us, right? It's your lungs, not your ankles. It's because we had what do you call it? We had dance mats. But I know a lot of people say like when you want to play DDR, you should play in the arcade because you have the metallic dance mats and you had the handle in the back of you that you can use when you're dancing. But when you get the dance mats for home, it's like plasticky and they slide on the floor, and it's the worst when you live in an apartment because you're stomping on arrows and your neighbor underneath you will be like, what the fuck are people doing up there? What the fuck are they stomping to? So DDR at home was very finicky, but thankfully me and my cousin lived in a home that didn't have that issue, but the mats would slip. So you had to get very creative to ensure that if you're going to play a very intense song in DDR, you need to make sure that it stood in place. And that in itself was a catastrophe of its own. What's up, KP? How's everything? My legs are too short. I can't keep up. Oh, not your legs being short. Why do you expose yourself like this? What's up, Kyle? What's up? This is a nice track. I actually like this. Saturday Night Mix by Yuzi Lei. This song I practiced so much. So much. I could not beat this on expert. Can I hang on. Let's see. Can we the least, because the music was so fucking, let me see, expert. Single expert. Yes, hang on. On a dance pad? Oh my god, this was insane. Yo, this was so ahead of me. I think this is practice mode, because you can hear the tick, 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 so they're trying to keep up. Sometimes when you were practicing, you can add, like, a little clicks when you tap an arrow, and also, like, a, what do you call it? Metronomes? Metronomes? So you hear, like, tick, 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 and you just keep up. Like, this shit was insane! This, like, there was so much potential you could reach with DDR. Like, anybody could fucking make it if you had the commitment to do it. It's like someone's tap dancing. This sounds like something you could tap dance to. Someone's about to hit like a triple A on this. Ooh, baby, a triple. There you go. Yes, let's go. With 1,000,000, that's a triple A, baby. Let's go. That was well done. Whoever displayed this, that was well done. That was really good. That was really good. Ah! Let me see. This was a long list. Yeah, Supernova had a pretty long list. I ain't gonna front. This music was insane. If you saw red letterings on the songs, you know it was gonna get serious. Very serious. But they're meant to be difficult. And they're not even locked on challenge. You could play this on basic, and it was still a challenging song. And it wasn't even just because of the arrows, it's just the speed they're going. Like, look at the voltage and look at the stream. Look, hang on. Y'all want to know how crazy this is? Hang on. If y'all thought what I just showed you earlier was freaking crazy, hang on. Fascination, max, DDR. Let me see. This is such a weird thing. 100, 200, 400. Like, if you really wanted to mess up your ankles, this was it. This was it. Fuego was good, homie. Ah, yes, Fuego! You know this shit! Oh my god. And the pause! The pause is what fucked you up! Yes, this person is gonna go in. Let's go! Oh my god! And it's funny because the person has the arrows color coded, so you knew like what fraction of a beat that arrow's gonna reach, and you tap on it. Anyone that danced to this at home with a loose dance pad, I commend you. This was suicide. This was straight suicide. I dream of being in this level. Could never. Like, those years are behind me. Nasty. That track is nasty. If anyone came up to me and was like, I challenge you to a DDR match, bet What game are we playing? You choose. Let's flip a coin. You choose. Fascination Max 100, 200, 400. I'm out. Deuces, just fade into the abyss. Like, you will not catch me. Them Sakura songs be putting me to bed. When you would practice some, like, Sakura and everything. No problem, Benita, no problem. That shit is nasty. I don't even... What difficulty was that on? Hang on, let me go back. It was on expert. That's just expert. Even on basic, it was a little bit intimidating to play. Even on basic. I keep forgetting to lower this. I need fast track. Fascination was okay. Chaos was actually kind of nice. Was a lot nicer than I anticipated or I remembered. Reminds me of like Super Monkey Balls. Gives me Super Monkey Balls for the GameCube vibes. Oh, it just cuts right there. Let's actually check some DDR Supernova 2. Supernova 2 wasn't really my favorite, but they had some hidden gems. Like, you couldn't really knock it, but the playlist could have done a lot better. And I even didn't like the campaign for Supernova 2. I was a little bit disappointed. It was at that point I decided to play with just controller because I just was not motivated enough to play these songs. Like, there'll be songs I'll listen here, and I'm like, okay, I hate this song. I'm grabbing my controller. I'm just gonna, I'm gonna dance because I am not gonna get up and step on some slow ass arrows. Like, I'm not. I'm gonna be like, okay, let's do this. Plug it. All right, let's do this. Unplug the dance mat first. This was a dope track. Wait, Fuego, you played DDR2, right? I mean, like Supernova 2. We didn't play much of it, I don't think. I don't remember the song being that. I might have to listen to this on the side. Viva sounds fire. I just didn't give the song the love it deserved. I was listening. I was like, oh, this sounds kind of... Sounds good. Cheryl Lynn. I wonder what happened to Ashley Tisdale. We really let a good one go, y'all. We really forgot a real one. Ashley Tisdale was dropping bangers, and we just said, like, alright, whatever. I really think she deserved more credit than she deserved. And then we have music like this. Like, man, listen. This music... Why do I feel dehydrated? This water tasted delicious. The fact that they had Justin Timberlake on this. And it had to be this song. But, you know, pop culture. And they had Chris Brown, like, why say goodbye? Like, it was so... I'm so mad that if you look at... Okay, Say Goodbye by Chris Brown, right? If you look over here, it says that its beats per minute is at 115. I think the reason they did that was because they didn't want to market the song like it's a very slow song. So they'd rather call it 115 beats per minute than say that this song is like 58 beats per minute. Because if someone saw 58 beats per minute, they'd be like, man, fuck that. Like, no, we are not playing a 58 beat per second song. So I think they kind of upsold it and said, let's just double that number and make it 115 beats. No. This had to be one of the most cringe songs I had to dance to in DDR. Like, ugh. And it's crazy. You're gonna see other songs that are supposedly slower than Chris Brown's "Say Goodbye," and I'm like, nah, y'all was upselling that song. Get the fuck out. Like, the fact that that song is slower than Chris Brown's "Say Goodbye," I don't believe that. There's a conspiracy going on here. But that song was a vibe. And this is what I was talking about. Temperature, yes, we just discussed that earlier. I don't know how Sean Paul got into DDR. I really don't. I don't know how you approach Sean Paul. Be like, hey, we want one of your songs to be in DDR. You know, everyone loves Sean Paul, right? Throw him in there. Add a little bit of the Caribbean spice in there. You know what I'm saying? I heard Americans love that Caribbean flavor. Sean Paul got it. He definitely got it. He knows what to do. Some of these songs I don't even remember. That's such a basic ass name for an artist. Beat Drop. What the hell? It's such a basic name. Now, okay, this kind of music is like, okay, I can appreciate because yes, this song, okay, but at least it's like a mix. So it's like, okay, it's passable. It's a passable DDR song because it's a mix and it's more upbeat. So I can appreciate it for what it is. And I even forgot they had Gwen Stefani in this. But it's just a mix. This is the type of music that makes me want to swing my feet while rocking, you know? What kind of music is this? I don't even know what genre that music is. Electrified. This is an okay song. Psy SF it's pretty good. I recognize that name in some songs too. I've seen that name drop here and there across different DDR titles. This person is committed. They got like a AAA on almost every expert song. This person is probably over here more so showing off his ratings, his ranks, than he is the music. A typical DDR song. Poof. AAA on all of them. Jeez, I'm sweating right now. Looking at all this, I feel as if I just lost weight. Music in the rhythm. Okay. I don't even remember this song. There's some songs here. I'm just there like, this wasn't in DDR Supernova 2. Like, I don't remember that either. And I have a feeling that I didn't beat DDR 2 completely. And then there was... Alright, this song was fire. This song was... I was vibing to this song really hard when Supernova 2 dropped. But I really feel there are some songs I noticed that would exist only in online multiplayer, but wouldn't exist in this, like, single-player playlist. I don't know why they did it like that, but... I love how this person got a B here of all places, and I'm low-key curious to figure out why. Because if you look here, it's at 65 beats per minute. But on expert, its chaos is freaking maxed out. Like, it broke the charts. And it just broke a little bit past stream. I really want to watch a separate video of this and see what's so difficult about this song. I'm actually very curious. Like, why did you get a B here? There's something wrong here. But you got a AAA on Chris Brown's "Say Goodbye" though. Okay. And apparently, you know, Chris Brown's is much faster. Much faster. Oof. I don't even remember this. Don't remember this. I don't think I really beat DDR Supernova 2. I could have sworn I did. There was probably like a few levels that I didn't even beat. Maybe I was close and just forgot about it, gave up on it. I just grew out of it. But then I remember this. So there was probably a good chunk of music I just missed out on, didn't buy it. Oh! Yeah, so there was a shop. So there was a list of songs that you could buy off of their little shop, and you dance to these songs and you get points, and you use your points to unlock the songs. So maybe there were songs that I could have unlocked, but I just didn't buy it because I would listen to it and be like, I don't like it. Like I had like casual energy getting into this. But I was still competitive. I had the mentality of a competitive DDR player, but my body was built like a casual DDR player. This was a nice track. Terra really doesn't miss with their music. Like, it'd be like some awesome anime opening bangers to dance to. Like, put the whole playlist, I rock to it. Oh man. That was definitely a nya nya kind of music. Definitely it was. Togo Project. Togo Project I actually liked. They were pretty cool. Some of their music was actually really good. Naoki. Naoki will literally drop an entire album and say this album is specifically for the next Dance Dance Revolution that comes out. And Konami will be like, say less, sister. Say less, you know? Naoki will call up, you know, Konami and be like, yo, come through. I got an album I need you to listen to. And DDR will come in, listen to the whole album. And you would walk in and the room is burnt up. It's all you smell is like smoke coming from underneath the door. Like Naoki just did it again, y'all. This is a nice track. I actually like this one. This song, oh my god, Niji Iro had to be like my number one track here. I would probably play this on repeat tonight. I'll play like some freaking aim labs and just listen to Niji Iro just cause it's such a hype song. I love it. One more time. Oh my god, this is my favorite song. Oh my god. I was in my weeb moments. What do you mean? Stop. Not me having my weeb years. Just listen to some banging Japanese music you can dance to in DDR. Call me a hot stepper, but I'm gentle though. Hit up the Dave and Buster's. This was hot though. This is a hot track. They did really well with this song. This song was weeb too. It was very lovey-dovey. Like it was cute. It was a cute song. It tugged at my heartstrings a little bit. Like, aw. This song was epic. Before You just killed it. They don't miss. Before You doesn't miss here. I can't forget this song. I gotta add that song to my playlist. Under the Sky was just an epic song to listen to. It was a beautifully epic song. God, man. And it's so, and I look at this and I'm like, damn, it was so cringe back then, but now it's like, I actually appreciate these songs. DDR really had a good thing going and they fucked it up on the PlayStation 3. I gotta take a leak. It's gonna get more cringe in a bit because we're about to head to PlayStation 3 DDR, and I did not like it. It was bad. Like, the playlist for DDR PS3 makes the playlist here god tier. And Supernova 2 was like a hit and miss of its own. Hang on, give me 1 sec. I'll be right back, y'all. Me drinking water while I gotta take a leak. That's wild. Gotta hydrate. It's getting hot, y'all. Breaking records left and right. I heard something about Florida's ocean temperatures reaching 100 degrees or something. I don't even know. I don't know how hot 100-degree water is, but apparently, like, that's really hot. It's triple digits. Can't even cool off in the ocean, right? I'll be right back. What's that? Okay. Ooh, I'm back. Call me a hot stepper. Alright. Oh, God. Here he goes. I'm ready to cringe. My stomach is churning right now. Thank you. Wow, this was from 2011. My God, where has the years gone? I saw this menu and I'm like, yo, this better be good. But it looks so cheap. Like, Flow Test Teams Club? They did a... Jesus, I remember playing this. It's a lot to take in a little bit. I remember going through the song list and I'm like, there's something wrong here. There is something wrong here. Yeah, there was Kesha in here. Holy shit. Kesha's the GOAT. And they had Lady Gaga in this. So there was just a lot of Americanized music. American music. And it's just, Why Battlefield? Is that like a Battlefield font from EA? That looks like a Battlefield font. Yo, Jordan Sparks knew what was up. She knew what was up. It's like, that's a gamer right there. She just didn't say it, but you knew she was. Okay, this is like a party song. Like, you want to dance to this to impress your friends? Sure. Paramore, though. You can always welcome Paramore. Not Motown and DDR. We was just there like, wait, what? They got some Motown in this bitch? Oh my god, it's so cringe dancing to this. Leona Lewis, it's like, oh. Why are these songs in here? I'm just suffering. I went through these songs, I'm like, something's off. Oh, okay, Natasha, Betty Feel Love Like This, call me a weirdo. All these other songs, I was like, okay, whatever. But Natasha, Betty Feels Love Like This is a banger. I don't give a fuck. Unpopular opinion, I don't care. I would dance to that. I will dance to that on fucking Expert, and I will get a AAA on it. That is a vibe, and I fuck with it. I don't care. This was like me not taking things seriously, but I'll be a little bit of a show off a little bit, you know? I liked it. I really liked it. Why my chair feel so... Okay. Like, what kind of music is this, bro? Kelly Clarkson with another banger for DDR. I was like, oh, nice to see a familiar face back on the song list. Yo, it's like we're putting up a country song that's like a booty, that's about a booty call, and we're throwing it in DDR, and it's like, y'all, I want to play DDR, I want to play hype music, I'm not trying to blow my brains out while I'm stepping on some arrows. Like, I looked back at this and I'm like, Konami, what were you thinking, bro? What is this? Like, ugh. And the thing is, my grandmother got me this. She got me the dance pad. She got me the game. And I regret her buying this. I wish I did my research before I begged my family to buy this for me when I was younger. Jeez, I hated this. Why? God. Ugh. The music here. Hey, just be out. What's going on? What's up? What's up? Just wait. Sean Paul was this? Sean Paul had a song here? Okay, so we'll make that 3. We'll make that 3. Yo, Sean Paul was really in the DDR. Yo, Konami loved Sean Paul. We just got some more Motown. And I'm just there, I'm like, yo, what is up with this song list? Like, give me some Japanese bangers. I want some anime openers. This was a good track. This was just, okay, finally, some typical DDR music. And this was Extreme 2. They just brought it back. Like, they were recycling some music. I don't remember that song. I will say I definitely didn't beat this game because I did not like PS3 DDR. How's everything just be out? We're out here just like listening like to some DDR songs and everything. Just on a nostalgic trip. June and Energy Factory. Energy Factory be having some good songs too. This was Terra? Wow, that's wild. I didn't even know Terra did this. And see, like, this is another song. It's like they were reusing songs, and it was like you knew something was wrong with this playlist. Damn, man. PS3 DDR had so much potential. What did they do? Oh, man. After this game, I just hung up the dance pad. I was like, listen, y'all, it was fun. It was lit. I'm out of here. Deuces. It was fun while it lasted. Created a lot of memories with the fam, but until then, like, that was it. Did he... This was a song I settled for and danced to more often because there wasn't a lot of good songs. And I was too lazy to unlock songs because I looked at this and I was like, the songs here are ass, man. I'm not even going to bother just unlocking more music. Because it wasn't like the other DDR games where it was like, you know, oh, there's some good songs. I can unlock more good songs. There wasn't. There really wasn't. Like, this is a good song. I don't remember the song, but this sounds like a good track. Oh! Wait, replay that! This song was good! This was a song I practiced to on Expert. Really good song. This was probably the best song I took from this game. This was a really good song. I'm gonna have to find that song somewhere. Later on, I'll find it. DJ, what is this? DJ, what is this? We can't hear the songs? Wait, you can't hear the songs? Let me see. Wait, you cannot hear the music? I'm getting readings on my screen that you guys have the music. Wait, can anyone confirm they can hear the music? Let me time out. Pause. Time out. Nah, chill. No, guys. No. What do you mean? Yo, I was just there like, yo, I have it on my reading, like on my OBS, like it's recording sound and it's hitting like the yellow. So I'm like, okay, you guys can hear the music. But then all of a sudden, this is the first time I'm hearing, no, we don't hear the music. Let's just take your word for it. Bruh. Hang on. I think I know. Hang on. I got you right now. Let me know if you hear this. How's the volume here? Really? I'm set to the max. I don't understand that. I don't want to bust out anybody's speakers. But to find out right now. How about that? That is so weird because I'm getting everything is here set to the max. Computer's at the max. YouTube is at the max. OBS, the volume slider is set to the max. I'm not understanding. And the sound source is coming from YouTube, let me see. That is very weird. Hang on, let me see something. Is it this? That wouldn't make any sense. Okay. Alright, hang on. Again, not trying to blast out anyone's ears. Give me a moment. Give me a moment. Not y'all making me go through all the cringe music again. No. Oh no. I mean, I'm actually happy you guys told me this now, like an hour later, but it is what it is. Let me just check this out. Do y'all hear that? I love being a streamer. I really do. Are you serious? I literally double checked the properties to ensure that it's getting music from that specific window. That is wild. And of course I can't put it on my speakers, because if I do, the audio from the speaker is going to leak into the mic, and that's not going to sound good. I don't get it. I'm not understanding that. Yeah, I did. That's why I was just there, and everyone was just here chilling. That's why I thought, okay, everything is good. I'm getting sound recordings. I'm getting sound readings. I don't get it. I'm not understanding. Oh, yeah, true. But I didn't want to put that responsibility on, like, my streamers and everything, you know? I mean, at least y'all did. I appreciate you for that. But that is crazy. I don't know. I wish I can show you guys what I'm looking at right now, but that just makes no sense. Hang on. Hang on. Let me try a different source. Because if this is the case, that's wild. If this works, I don't know what the issue was. Because there's no difference between these two, like, what do you call it, audio tracks, but let me just say I get rid of this. And I do this. Let's just see. Give me a moment. Yeah. Let's see. If this works, I'm a scream, because that just makes no sense. OBS is a very weird program. Does that work? What? Yo, that just makes no sense! That makes no sense! The two is literally the same! I have two, so what happens is, I have two audio tracks. So the way how I have in OBS is like, okay, I have two audio tracks that's set up. It's like, okay, this audio track is made for the internet. Label it as the internet. So anything internet related, like an internet browser, you're gonna be in charge of that audio. You are in charge of video games. So if I'm playing a video game, you're in charge of that audio. And this is the thing, so in case, hey, maybe I want to play like a YouTube music, like a playlist, this audio track is in charge of that. And this is in charge of the game audio, and I can individually control the volume between the two. But for some odd reason, when we're on YouTube, the volume is low. For some reason. No matter if I max it out, it's still low. So I was like, okay, you know what? I'm gonna take the audio from this and put it into the game side. Now you're in charge of the YouTube. And now it sounds perfectly fine. I don't get it. I'm gonna have to look into that. Because I don't think I manipulated anything crazy other than you're in charge of this program, you're in charge of that program. That's it. So that's crazy. But thank you guys. Okay, I'm glad we sorted this out. This was a project. We did that project. We completed it. All right, awesome. I had to rub 2 brain cells together to get that to work, and you guys actually saw that in action. So congratulations. You guys get to see like a monkey work on some audio, and I succeeded. Rub 2 brain cells together, like, come on, Devon. Just create some friction, like. But yeah. This was the music that I liked. This was the jam for the PlayStation 3. Oh god, y'all was listening to all my favorite tunes. I wanted to share that with you. What do you mean? It's okay, because we got more stuff coming up for YouTube tonight. I'm appreciating y'all for dropping by. We're on a little nostalgic trip, and then we're going to play like some YouTube videos, and we're going to get into history. A gaming history. I don't remember any of this music. Never really got the chance to even hear it. Because I didn't like this game. Yo, just be out. I was just talking about how I kind of regretted my grandmother buying this game just because. Oh, it's DDR. I want DDR. Ass. Just terrible. I regret my grandmother buying this. She didn't have to buy this. She was probably going into Toys R Us or whatever, just mad intimidated, was wondering if she was about to look like a chicken with no head asking for this thing, until the sales rep was like, oh, I know what you're talking about. You want this, right? Yeah, here it is. Damn, man. How long is the playlist? Wait, this is 14 minutes? Wait. This is a long playlist. I didn't even think they had this much music. And you can tell this game was ass because look at all the new songs he has. He has not touched these songs. You know it's ass. But when we went to the other DDR games, every single person that was going through the song list, it was either an A, a double A, or a triple A. Because you knew each and every single one of those songs were bangers until this game dropped. What the heck is New York Evolve? Who is NC Underground? Was this a thing? I think it flashes red, meaning like it's a very challenging song. I never really had that before. I wonder if... I don't even think... I think I'm the only person of everyone in my family that has played this. I'm happy they didn't get to experience this atrocity. Because this could have done so much better. I'm like, yeah, guys, don't waste your money. This was ass. Go back to your PlayStation 2 DDR, because this one was not it. Too much recycled music. And I don't know, I just felt that because it was PS3, things are gonna be better. They're gonna have like better visual graphics. They were gonna have like a longer list of music. It wasn't, man. But at least they call this DDR Greatest Hits. Like, okay, that's fine. You know? At least you're acknowledging like, hey, these are some good tracks. We added it to the PS3 version. But they still kind of snuck in a few there. This was a good one. Oh, this was a good song. They were greatest hits for the reason. It's like, okay, so you know these are greatest hits. So where the hell was all this music? Like, this is your typical DDR music. Like, you hear this in an arcade, Dave and Buster's, Chuck E. Cheese, Kids Aerobics. You knew someone was about to slant down. It was a smackdown at the arcade. Do y'all ever go to an arcade and you look around and you know there's that one person that you know is gonna kill it? Like, you just see this one person like approach the DDR arcade, and you're looking at that person and you're like, oh yeah, this person knows what they're doing. They're gonna kill it. I can feel it. There's always a vibe there. Red Zone was a good track. This was pretty good. It was good hype music. Gamelan, the couple? How did this song make it to greatest hits? How does this song make it to greatest hits? That's a flexible fact. That is a very flexible fact. That was a very weak song, but still, I appreciated it. Like, again, it was a guilty pleasure. That was a guilty pleasure. I'll probably jam to that music, but like by myself if I'm practicing. If I'm practicing. Oh man. Innocence of Silence was good. It was okay. I still like the reggae version of this. Another guilty pleasure, but I prefer the reggae version of this, or the reggae mix of that. Oh man, hang on. We gotta watch the Fascination thing one more time because I know there was something wrong. Was it 100, 200, 400? Fascination Max. Because we didn't hear the audio and you guys didn't get a chance. But we'll watch it again because this was just insane. This song was a menace. This song was a menace. This song was diabolical. So watch out, guys. No controllers in sight. No controllers. Meanwhile, my ass will just sit here and just do this. And you know what's crazy? In DDR, if you was to play with the controller, this controller here, like the triangles, actually acted as a direction. So you could press the left button and the triangle button, and you would press up and left at the same time. It was very corny. Very corny. So if you was playing a campaign, and you couldn't beat the song, there would be people that would just grab a controller and just blow right through it with a controller. Stupid cheesy, but what are you gonna do, you know? This song was mental. Absolutely mental. Beautiful. Like, I could just watch this on repeat and be like, that's insane. I wish I was at that level, but I just didn't put in enough time. I wasn't even that committed. And also, it was just the equipment at the end of the day. Like, again, like DDR, like, you gotta have that bar behind you, and you have to protrude your body out a bit and step on the mats. I mean, on the arrows. And I didn't have that, you know? And you had to try not slipping. I can't do that. Whether you were barefoot or you were wearing socks, mind you, the socks were wild. You could wear shoes, but shoes was a little bit tricky. It really depended on like what kind of shoes you were wearing. It was a whole mess to play DDR at home. But as a matter of fact, you know what? We can just move on. We're about to watch some crazy shit. We're about to watch some Satanic Panics. watch that. We're about to check out the history of video games. Hold on, Satanic Panic News. Maybe you could watch something. Oh wait, there was one I wanted to watch. Hang on. Video games, the devil, Cult of the Lamb. So okay, so you guys remember the game that I played a while back? Cult of the Lamb. The one was like you're playing the lamb and you gather followers in any way. You build up like a cult and you get to like marry your followers. You can sacrifice them. They can fight. That whole shebang. How does the brain process this? Okay, that game. Okay, so someone actually made like a video talking about, oh, this game is satanic and everything and whatnot. Oh God, hang on. Yes, I think this is it. Okay, we're gonna watch this. We're gonna watch this. This is wild. Like the mental gymnastics here.
Someone mentioned a new video game. That
I didn't get to watch
really
the full part of it
about.
because I was at work.
Is it
but
fair to say that this is probably the most hotly anticipated roguelite of the year, Cult of the Lamb?
I thought I'd give you a review of it. It's called Cult of the Lamb, which kind of sounds suspicious because Jesus is called the Lamb of God. Sermons
watch out,
from
y'all.
the Lamb.
This is for teens.
So let's have a look at
this
the
is edgy.
Cult of the
This is
Lamb.
as edgy as they come.
You're kidding. It's playing at double speed for some reason. That is weird. I'll reboot
Absolutely.
my laptop.
Let's see what they're really
You are
saying.
the mighty lamb in Massive Monster and Devolver Digital's Cult of the Lamb. Saved from sacrifice by the one who waits, you're compelled to repay the dead by creating a cult in their name.
So you're the mighty lamb.
This
and
game
you're
was lit.
starting a cult.
This
kind
game
of like
was
the
lit.
Charles Manson cult.
When I stand on the mountain and I say, do it, it gets done. If it don't get done, then I'll move on it. And that's the last thing in the world you want me to do.
That man had power in his voice. You hear him talk like that? You should say like, ooh. All right.
Whatever he
Please don't hurt me.
I would do.
You are the mighty lamb, and you're to go and start your own cult. You've been saved by sacrifice, and now you have to repay the dead and be compelled to do so.
So, here's a few tips on how to start your very first cult.
Yes.
Step 1. Grow your flock. Go crusading into the lands of the old faith to find new followers and defeat the false prophets.
And the characters were so cute. I
Indoctrinate your
don't
new
know how you can
followers
shit on
into the
this
cult.
game. This is a cute
Indoctrinate
game.
your new followers. This is what a cult leader does. Like Jim Jones. Remember Jim Jones?
Started as an effort by a charismatic preacher to build a new society, but it ended.
Question:
of
when I
course,
was
with the
playing Cult of the
tragic
Lamb,
deaths
did I
of
give
more
off
than
Jim
900
Jones
people.
vibes?
Jim became
I don't think I was a Jim
increasingly
Jones. I think
paranoid.
I'm like the kindest cult leader
Jones
ever.
gathered his followers for
Like,
a final sermon.
I
And
want.
by the way, he wasn't the Reverend Jim Jones. He was an atheist according to the FBI, and his own denomination tried to get rid of him because they knew he was an atheist.
Because I've got more power than anyone, but my power is dependent upon your faith. And
I want to have people drink the Kool-Aid. I'll be like, yo, we all drinking Capri Suns
daily
tonight.
sermons and watch their faith grow. Step 3. Cleanse the non-believers. Unhappy followers will rise against you and try to persuade the others to leave the cult.
Yes.
Will you gently re-educate them in the ways of the Lamb, or perform dark rituals and sacrifice them to the gods?
Okay, so just a quick reference for those that don't know what the hell's going on with this game. So basically, it's a cult game known as Cult of the Lamb. So basically, the story is you're a lamb. You are recruited by this god. He's in chains. And he's saying that, and this god, this demonic god is saying that there are like, I think like 4 gods that is responsible for why he's chained. And you need to build a following so this god that's chained could give you the strength to kill off the 4 other gods that's responsible for imprisoning the god that's giving you this power. So you get this power, you get this belief, you go off on an adventure, you start saving and recruiting followers into your cult, and you build a village. Each follower is responsible for, you know, growing food, cooking, building, praying, the whole shebang. You have followers that will come up to you with ideas saying like, hey, we should build a church, we should build a statue. You assign people to pray. The more they pray, the stronger you become. The thing with the game is it's a roguelike game. So you play the game, and if you die, it negatively affects you. So your followers are rooting for you. If you die, your followers kind of lose some faith. So if you're on a bad streak and you keep dying, your followers will start to not like you. They're about to think like you ain't shit. So you kind of have to keep your followers in check. So say you start dying and everyone likes you except for one person. This one person will start talking to other followers saying like, yo, like, Devon ain't shit because he keeps dying. He talks about he's almighty and everything. He keeps dying. He ain't shit. So there's more people that will start to not like you. So as a cult leader, if I wanted to keep everyone in check, I can either assign a follower to say, yo, watch this person real quick. If he does any fuck shit, let me know. Or I can just start a ceremony or a mass, and I can be like, hey guys, we're about to do a quick sacrifice. And I'll say, you know who's going to get sacrificed? You. Yeah, you. I'm talking to you. Come over here. Lock the door. Bring him to the pentagram. Some shit like that. And we'll just sacrifice him. And everyone will be like, yay. Praise be Satan. Some shit like that. But this game was fucking wild. Like, the request that followers had in this game was insane. But it was a good game. And it was cute. But that's just the context of the game. So you're already up to date with everything. But
Step 3, kids, cleanse the non-believers. This is asking for more school shootings.
In February 2018, Nicholas Cruz entered his former high school with an AR-15, where he shot and killed 17 people and injured 17 others.
Now I worship the devil. I hate God and Jesus and Christianity. The Antichrist told me. So there's a lot of discussion that he drops, particularly when he's angry, about demons or Antichrist or the devils.
What does the voice say to you? What does it tell you again?
What does the voice tell you? Zoom in. I love the panning, the zooming, really adds drama, like some dramatization to these videos. I like it. Top tier editing. I'll never get to that level.
Ratau was once a vessel for the Red Crown. Now he's your guide and mentor.
Ratau is your spirit guide, your demon that will possess you.
Clownneck is the keeper of the tarot cards that guide you. Clownneck's face will be a
Ratau was the homie,
when the
man.
Forces of darkness are closing in.
He was there for me
Clownneck is a
for
welcome
everything.
sight when the forces of darkness are closing in. These are the forces of darkness.
Kuldai holds the weapons you need for your fight. You will be offered weapons and curses to choose from.
The weapons were pretty
you're
fire.
gifted
When you
and
knew
the
what weapons to
knowledge
use, they
you
were
gather
dope.
will serve you well as leader of the one true cult. You are a lamb possessed. You are a lamb possessed. Bound to create a cult in the
Why did
name
he
of your
repeat
shadowy
that? You are a
savior.
lamb
You
possessed.
are bound to create a cult in the name of your shadowy savior. That's not Jesus. That's not the Lamb of God. That is the God of this world, the Prince Power that works in the children of disobedience.
Battling the non-believers who would end your righteous mission. Find melee weapons like the sword, axe, and dagger. Find melee weapons like the sword, axe, and dagger.
If you're gonna
What's
do
wrong with the
something,
axe and dagger? I don't get
leave
it.
something witchy. Just like I would tell you, if you're gonna do something, do it well. And leave something witchy.
Bring home resources and new followers to build up your community. Some will join you willingly. Others must be converted through force.
Others must be converted through force. That is the exact opposite of Christianity. You can choose life or choose death, the scriptures say. You can...
Oh, I love how you said that. That is the opposite of Christianity. I love that. I love that. Keep talking.
choose darkness or choose light.
These lands are dark and dangerous. But the light of your faith will guide you to victory.
The art was
Shepherd
really
your
nice in this game,
followers.
too.
Build your strength and smite the unworthy gods.
I'm at a loss for words. This is so openly demonic, so satanic, so horrible. This is brainwashing of our children. To say this is
How long is
grievous
this
is
video?
a massive understatement. The Bible warns that
Damn, it's
Satan
like
goes
14
about as
minutes.
a roaring lion, seeking whom he may devour, and he's devouring
I wonder
a
how much he
generation.
has to say about this game.
However, and it's a
He must hate
huge
this game with
however,
a
the
passion.
Bible says the reason Satan is going about like a roaring lion is that he knows his time is short. Jesus is coming, the Lamb of God, and he's coming in flaming fire to render his anger with fury and his rebuke with flames of fire. So you and I as Christians need to stand up and warn this generation that God means what he says.
But what
These
happens
are
when
dark
Satan
days
gets
indeed,
gets
but don't be
removed? Like,
discouraged. If God is for
where's
us,
the end
nothing
game?
can be against us. Therefore, my beloved brethren, be steadfast, unmovable, always abounding in the work of the Lord, for you know your labor is not in vain in the Lord. Now watch this. Why do you play demonic games?
I don't know. I find it fun.
I didn't
You think Satan's
I have,
real?
Yeah.
I have not gone this far.
So Anderson, do you play video games?
Yes, I do.
Are any of the games that you get into occultic, like to do with demons and stuff like that?
Occultic.
Yeah, there is some where it's like paranormal activity and stuff like that.
He probably
called,
plays Phasmophobia.
that is
This
one of the
dude's
games
probably
I do
like top
play.
tier.
Do you think demons are real?
Yeah, I do. I've seen a lot of videos to kind of like that provide a lot of evidence as to like, you know, I've seen a lot of people do satanic rituals and stuff like that, so I do believe there is.
So why do you play demonic games?
They're
I don't know,
fun.
I find it fun.
Do you think
Yeah.
Satan's real?
Yes.
Do you know what he
Yeah.
does?
I know he takes control of people and manipulates them in a way to, like, you know, for the evil.
And what does the voice say to you? Well, what does it tell you to do?
Burn, kill, destroy.
You know, I do believe
That
it
is your
says so in the
average
Bible.
Warhammer
So you're a
40k
Christian?
fan right
I am,
there.
yes.
Are you born again?
I think so, but
You're not sure?
but I'm not sure. No.
This is what Jesus spoke of in John chapter 3. He says, if you're not born again, you're not going to get to heaven. Did you know that?
No, I did not.
Yeah. Unless a man is born again,
How
you
did I miss
cannot
this?
see the kingdom
That's,
of God.
that's a bar.
We better
How did I
make sure
miss
you're
that?
born again, because we want to see you in heaven. I asked you what the devil does. The Bible says he goes about as a roaring lion, seeking whom he may devour. Have you heard of that Bible verse?
No, I have not.
And it's saying
I
he
didn't get
may
to that-
devour
that
anyone
part of the
that's in
campaign.
his territory. It's a word of permission, seeking whom he may devour. If you're doing the works of the devil, he may devour you. Jesus said to the religious leaders, you're of your father, the devil, and his works you do. If you died today, where would you go?
I would hopefully believe I'd go to heaven.
Why?
Because that's where
We all going to
God
heaven,
want me to
baby.
go.
Tickets
Are you a
on
good
me.
person?
For the most part, yes.
I'm going to give you a standard to judge yourself by. Have you lied and stolen in your life?
Yes.
Have you ever used God's name in vain?
But what does that have
Yes,
to do
I
with
have.
video
When did you
games,
last do
though?
that?
2 days ago.
Do you love
How
your
do you
mum?
keep track of
Yes,
that?
I do. I very much love my
Would you ever use her name as a cuss word?
As a cuss word, no.
Because you don't want to disrespect your mum. But you did that by the name of God.
But what
He's
does
the one that gave you a mother. He
right?
gave you
I'm
life.
saying what does
And his
but
name
what
is
does that have to
holy.
do with video
And his
games? Like
name's
the
called
like the
blasphemy.
video just gets
Punishment by death in the
irrelevant.
Old Testament.
How long does he
Can I
do
be
this
personal
for?
with you?
Yes.
Looks like you've been serving the devil recently. That's lawlessness. I never knew you. You
Oh
need
my
to be
God,
saved,
how
and you've
long is
forgotten
this?
What it is. Jesus dying on the cross for the sin of the world. He can remit your sins in an instant. Why would you put on a parachute?
This
guarantee
is so
your safety and
cringe.
that
He
you'll
is
live again.
drilling this kid.
To help you resist the temptations of the devil.
This is like a really good awakening.
He doesn't want you to have a foot in the kingdom of darkness and one in the kingdom of light. Amen.
This is borderline abusive. this is abusive. Yo, that is wild. I'm just there. I'm like, no. Like, what did you talk with this kid about? Like, that had nothing to do with video games after that. It wasn't even like, oh, like, let's talk to different kids and ask them why do they play demonic games. No, he just took that one kid and he just nailed him to the cross and used him as an example for this video. He used him as a whole ass video prop and saying, this is the example. That is wild. That's insane. I don't even want to look at the comment section. That's the one thing that scares me most about YouTube. Comment sections on YouTube are chaotic. That is insane. You know what? Oh, because we was talking about Pokemon this morning. Satanic Panic. See, I want to look up... Ooh, hang on. This is a 35-minute video. We're going to cut it short. I really want to hear this.
Now, a lot of things come over from the Orient.
He's a Pokemon
A lot
collector.
of things come over from the
You
Orient.
see that Pokeball right there? Ooh.
And some things have a big impact on us, and some things don't. I can't think of anything that come over from the Orient that actually had a big impact or a phenomenon-type craze other than Godzilla. But there is something new that's come over to the United States and has actually captured the minds and the imagination of every single child.
Including me.
And you know what? It's not new at all. Japanese kids have been watching this thing since 1995. It started out as a cartoon, went to a comic book. They made it into a video game, went to toys.
Right, exactly, right?
Collectible card
6 years
game.
ago it was uploaded.
Now, praise God,
The
there's even a
80s?
movie on it. And it was started in
He's like,
1995.
what resolution was this back in the
It's
day?
not new, but it's new to kids, and they're eating it up.
It was VHS resolution.
And it's called Pokemon.
Look at the projector. That's crazy.
And it stands for Pocket Monster.
You know,
It even made the
if your
cover of
face
Time
is on
magazine.
Time magazine, you know you made it.
Now, the first thing I want you to notice is, do you notice any symbol up there that you've seen before? The spiral.
Yeah, that's Polyworld.
And it stands for what? Male fertility.
Wait, wait, say that
Now-
again?
And it even made the cover of Time magazine. Now, the first thing I want you to notice is, do you notice any symbol up there that you've seen before? The spiral. And it stands for what? Male fertility. Okay? Now, this thing is actually called Polyworld, but they actually had another name.
Oh, how did you know that? How did you know that? What is this? Hello? This is the work of Satan, but you know this monster's name? Hello? No one finds this suspicious?
For it before they renamed it.
That's crazy.
When this creature first came out, it was called Hypno. And they changed it to Polyworld to make it a little more innocent.
Okay. Polyworld. We're gonna look that up right now. Let's see this. Let's see this. Evolution is Polywag, Polywhirl, and it's Polywrath. Let me see. Maybe it's like in trivia or something. You know what I have to bring? I gotta bring my girlfriend into this, because she probably knows. She'll probably be like, nah, he lying. He lying. Let me see. The logo, the Pokemon Tokyo featured Polyworld was replaced by Piplup in 2007. Yada yada. Polyworld may be based on a tadpole and a frog. The spiral pattern on its belly is supposed to represent how the organs of tadpoles can sometimes be seen through their transparent skin. Its evolution is based on the tadpole's metamorphosis. Oh, that's interesting. That's pretty interesting. I didn't even know that. Nyorozo may be a combination of... What? An onomatopoeia for ringling. And Kozo for young... Oh, I didn't even know that. Kozo means youngster. I did not know that. But you pronounce his name as Nyorozo. Nyorozo. Okay. Got it. That is actually hilarious. This is supposed to be the evolution of a tadpole. And I love how they kind of twisted that and said, that spiral, it means male fertility. That's the first time I've heard that.
But you see what it actually does is it's supposed to be able to mesmerize and hypnotize its enemies. And you can see how that would happen. That starts spinning around, and it's just like one of those hypnotic wheels that they use to hypnotize. And you see up here in the top, here's a creature, an alligator-type creature over here, dragon. Kind of a funny duck-billed thing down here. And this is an interesting character over here. This character over here is called Mewtwo.
Yo, how does
and
he
Mewtwo
know this?
Looks like an alien. If you look at him real carefully, he looks like an alien. But you know, the first thing that I noticed about that thing is, when I looked at it, and I looked at those eyes, I said, you know what? That kind of looks like the things that we used to pray to inside that circle. Now you notice that he has a particular salute that he's given. And he's in this pose. Every time that you see Mewtwo, he's in this pose.
Let's see right now. I was kind of hoping that's not true, but he always has his arms out. Look at him. Always got the arms out. What do you mean? Oh, man. Damn, guys. He got us. He got us. Damn, man. How are you supposed to fight that in a debate? Oh my god, our debate team is gonna get wrecked over this. How can we even argue against that? He's right, there's a pattern. I didn't even notice this. I had to use Google. Google had to show me that. That's insane.
Now, he has 3 fingers. And those 3 fingers are always sticking out like that.
It's the
Now, he doesn't have 5
consistency.
fingers like we do. He has 3. But if they were the 3, on us, they'd be this. And that doesn't mean hook 'em horns, doesn't mean I love you, doesn't mean one more. It means hail Satan. It's the satanic salute that all Satanists identify themselves with.
Oh,
and it
man.
says here, you look here, it says for many kids it's now an addiction. Very much so. Cards, video games, toys, a new movie. Is it bad for them? What we need to...
You know what I think it really is? I think all in all, when it comes to crazes like this, like Pokemon, I genuinely believe that people just love to bash things that they don't understand. So, I mean, yes, this particular group is looking at this at a negative light, thinking this has something to do with Satanism, that this has something to do with violence and all that stuff, brainwashing kids. But this was a crazy sensation that came from East Asia, Japan specifically, and just washed over like the United States. Like if there was ever like a mega tsunami on all fronts, like America would be fucking washed. They would be wiped off the map. And Pokemon was that tsunami, you know? But other than that, like some people just don't understand things, so they make up their own perspective of the game, and they, how do I say this? They tend to reflect their own culture wars onto something so innocent. Like, oh, like the Satanic panic, Satan is coming after our kids. Look at Pokemon, look at all these signs, look at Mewtwo, look at the swirling limb symbol. And it's like, dude, like, it's just a game. Like, he is supporting his argument. He is. And this is where all the conspiracies come up, and I'm just there, I'm like, that is crazy. Like, the mental gymnastics here.
To look at is whether or not that particular statement holds true. Is it bad for them?
It just goes to show you that if you really speak with confidence and you list certain things as to why something is bad, no matter how ridiculous it sounds, you will always have at least one person that will sit there and say, I actually agree with you. No matter how outlandish or how far you're reaching of an argument. You'd be surprised.
Here's one of the characters. Cute little one. Everybody go, oh, come on.
Oh, come on!
I know you want to do that.
Mouse.
See,
It's
that's why I did that.
adorable!
He's
It's
cute.
a mouse!
But the one thing I've noticed about him right off, this is Pikachu. One thing I noticed about him right off was his tail. It's a lightning bolt. And it's a satanic Z. It even comes down here to a point.
I would have thought that was God. Like, God always uses electricity. Like, I would have thought God was giving this mouse some power. I didn't know Satan had electric powers. That's insane. Satan is a fire type. What the hell? What the hell is that?
Point. Now, just by looking at him alone is not enough to really be able to say, okay, yeah, that's bad or that's satanic. What we first need to do is we need to look at the actual production of these things. And the first thing we need to do is we need to look at who actually produced the trading card game that has captured the minds and the imaginations of our children.
Let's hear it.
Now, it doesn't make any difference what I say. It's what their own material says, because their own material will give them away. Okay? So I'm going to read to you, here's the direct quote from the web pages of the producer of this game. Listen to this. The Pokemon trading card game is a new collectible card game that is made and distributed by Wizards of the Coast. What is a wizard? Male practitioner of black magic.
Okay, so for those that don't know, yes, so Wizard of the Coast is basically the people that are responsible for making these games, especially like the trading card games, Pokemon. Like, they're pretty big on this. If I'm not mistaken, Wizard of the Coast is also the same people behind Dungeons and Dragons, no? They have to be. Yeah. Yup, published by the Wizards of the Coast since 1997. So right now, Dungeons and Dragons is under Wizards of the Coast. And there's a whole separate history behind Dungeons and Dragons being associated with Satanism. because kids are playing as barbarians and wizards and mages, and they're fighting against demons and skeletons and dragons and dealing with the devil. Dungeons and Dragons was a whole mess on its own. Like, that in itself deserves its own documentary between, like, the mass hysteria behind, like, Satanism and its association with Dungeons and Dragons. Pokemon is just face value. It's just scraping the surface. Because this whole Satanic Panic thing goes far beyond video games. Like, even down to, like, Dungeons and Dragons. Like, just, playing, like, make-believe. You know, just playing make-believe with a dice and a couple action figures. Like, I could take G.I. Joe and Barbie and a couple dice and be at a backyard and say, all right, guys, let's play some Dungeons and Dragons. We're all commandos of the G.I. Joe squad, and we gotta save the princess up there. Like, you could have just done that, and people will still look at that and say, yeah, that's some satanic shit right there. That's not real. That's insane. I'm already done with this. Let's see something else. Let's see something else. Let me see here. This preacher thinks there's probably something. I think there's something. Let's see. Let's see if we can hear some news about, like, video games are bad. There might be something here. Nah, I'm looking, like, for actual clips. I want to see some raw clips. Some dank clips of just preachers and news reporters just talking about video games that they've never touched their whole lives. Wait, how long is this video? I gotta use the bathroom after this.
Violent video games have encouraged the killing of innocent people for sport.
That was Senator Grassley from Iowa.
How
and
long
he's
ago
right,
was
says
this?
Franklin Graham, son of Billy Graham. He took over his father's ministry.
As a matter of fact, give me 1 sec. I don't think I can hold it. Be right back. I don't want to cut in the middle of the movie, but I gotta use the bathroom. 1 sec. Ooh. Okay, is the... What? Alright. Turned on the AC. Use the bathroom.
So
Let's
why
do
do you
this.
think he's right?
Well, first of all, John, God understands violence. His son, Jesus Christ, was nailed
God does. He was
to a
unhinged
tree,
during the Old Testament.
for our sins and died for our sins, and God raised him to life. God understands violence. And we see violence all around us, but in our country, John, in the last 30, 40 years, violence has come into our homes in the form of entertainment. And it is, you know, when I was growing up, it was Gunsmoke, Marshall Dillon, and he only pulled out his gun to protect and to save life, and the good guys always won. But it's a far cry from the video games that we have today. And what we see on television from Hollywood, every night the gun is glorified.
Well, what do you want to do? You want to ban them?
You want to
Well,
ban them?
we have, of course, a constitution, and we won't be able to do that. But we certainly can tax them, John. We can tax violence. Why don't we try that? We do that to cigarettes, alcohol. Why not tax violence and give the money to the people that are
aged
the victims?
very poorly because
Now,
we pay
I noticed that the head of the National Rifle Association agrees with your point.
We already
He says
paying that
the
tax,
video
brother.
games business is a corrupt industry.
That sells
I don't know, man. This argument
and
aged
stows
very well.
violence against its own people through vicious,
I
violent
gotta pay
video
$70 for
games.
Call of Duty. Are you serious?
Isn't
Because it's violent?
fantasizing about killing people as a way to get your kicks
And I gotta pay $20
really the
for each
filthiest
season
form of
pass?
pornography?
Filthy porn, sowing violence. Come on, he's right to defend gun rights, but there's no good evidence that video games cause violence. I push back to both of you.
And John, and I appreciate that. Listen, I've had guns all my life. My father gave me my first gun when I was 9 years old. Everyone I grew up with had guns, but we didn't go around shooting people.
What is your dad doing giving you a gun at the age of 9? That is insane. I'm just saying, like, we are really out here trusting single-digit aged kids with guns. That is wild. Yo, y'all remember the Christmas Story? Like, you shoot your eye out, kid. Like, what? That's insane. Now, hang on. Before anything, I did want to mention before, because he did mention something along the lines of, like, things like video games coming in as, like, a form of entertainment. I think video games were advertised as entertainment, but the thing was, before the video game crash of, I forgot what year, it was sold as entertainment, but like that was it. Oh, it's just an entertainment device. So the video games were fine, but it wasn't taking off as much as people anticipated. And then there was this whole video game crash. I'm not even going to get into it, but to fast forward, basically Nintendo kind of looked at video games. They said, okay, we need to approach video games from a different perspective. Okay, who do you think is more likely to buy a video game? Yeah, anybody? And you got the corporate heads are like, kids, right? And they're like, yeah, right, kids. Kids will play video games. They love video games. They love fun things. Anything fun, kids will always buy it. They'll ask mommy and daddy to buy them it. Now, this is where it gets fucked up. They said, because, you know, when you go to Toys R Us, for example, there is a boys section and a girls section. So then the argument or the debate was, if we had video games, who should we target it towards? Boys or girls? And I think after doing their own research, I don't know, something above my pay grade, they decided that we should market video games towards boys. And then ever since then, Nintendo started marketing like video games for boys. And then all of a sudden, Sony started to take suit. Sony saw that, and they were like, oh, that's fire. It works for Nintendo. We're going to start marketing games put towards boys. And that's how you start getting all these ads that kind of had, like, back in the days at least, that were more so targeted towards boys. Like, you had, like, girls in there, you know, that were, you know, attractive subjectively. And there was always explosions. There was always guns and whatnot. Like, it was mainly targeted towards men. So ever since then, like, video games were always marketed towards kids, but mainly boys. But that's not the point. But basically what I'm saying is they were advertised as entertainment brought into a household, but it couldn't sell well just calling it an entertainment system. So it really just started just marketing it towards kids, and then from kids, it just got popular. And now everyone and their moms plays video games. And even till this day, you have people that think like video games are for kids, when like the average age of like a video gamer, like as of right now, is like the age of like 37, 38 years old. So that kind of refutes the argument right there. But anyways,
And today, these young kids want to dress like the actors they see in TV or what they see in these video games, and they arm themselves with these rifles and guns, and they go out and they commit these killings. It is sick, and it's a cocaine.
But what about Halloween, though?
Has become addicted to violence for entertainment, like the
But
Romans.
what about Halloween?
You talk about all this stuff coming into our homes in the past 30, 40 years, and you're right, there's much more violence, it's much more horrible.
Yeah.
But crime is down. Youth offenses are down.
Crime is down.
Maybe it's good for kids.
What do you mean, brother?
We don't know.
John, I would say it's not good for
GTA
anybody.
5 just dropped. You don't see crime going up. I don't get the
Video
correlation.
games, to me, are murder simulators is what they are. And it's very dangerous, John, very dangerous.
In Japan, they watch twice as many of these video games, and the murder rate is a fraction.
Let's
You
go,
look at crime per
Japan!
100,000 people.
Let's go!
10 firearm deaths in the United States, less than 1 in Japan, and so on. There's just no evidence that playing the games causes people to run around and shoot people.
John, I understand what you're saying, and I agree with you that we do need evidence, okay? We need to have a national study of this, but yet we don't really have one underway at this time, as far as I know. The President and Congress need to get behind and trying to find a way to curb violence. It's an epidemic in our country, and how do we stop this? We need God's help, John, we really do.
In the 1950s, the villain was the comic book. The Senate claimed comics were causing juvenile delinquency. And at one hearing, a so-called forensic scientist said one comic promotes sadistic fantasies to kids. That comic was Superman.
I don't know.
What?
Maybe those comic books did have a negative impact. I really don't know. But we don't
Yo,
know
that's
unless we have a study
crazy.
doing.
Not
And our government is not focusing on that.
I can't imagine what more study we could have other than the fact that the games are more popular and crime is down. But thank you, Franklin Graham. When we return, we'll...
Oh, my son wanted to be Superman this Halloween. Oh my God, I'm such a bad parent. Oh. That's it. No more video games, no more comic books. That's it. It's between you and the Lord right now. Oh man, that is insane. What? Yo, that is wild. It's like the mental gymnastics that's involved to making sure like you can paint video games as a bad thing. And I will say this, like video games, the reason why so many people look at video games and poke at video games as like this bad thing, I strongly feel is because there's nothing you could lose if you blame video games. Like, you have to think about it this way. Like, if there was an active shooting right now, you can blame it on video games, and anyone with a sane mind could tell you that is the dumbest argument you can ever present, because multiple studies have proven time and time again that video games do not cause these things. Sure, these people play Call of Duty, they may play violent games, but that doesn't mean it's the cause. Like, that doesn't mean anything. You know, it's so crazy. So when you blame video games, you're not losing anything at all. Like, no one was ever voted out of office because they blamed video games on this mass shooting or this terrorist attack at one point. Never have they ever. Like, gamers as a community doesn't just go up in arms and they say, yo, this guy blamed us for the reason why there was a mass murder. Let's vote him out of office. Never at all. So video games is such an easy topic to pick on whenever some tragedy happens, because nothing happens, you know? Sure, people are gonna like look at you funny, but that's the worst that's going to happen. Preachers do it, politicians do it, world leaders do it. Like, it's like the safest route whenever you want to blame something. Like, oh, why is there riots in Paris? Oh, it's bad parenting in video games. Like, that was actually said during the current riots going on in Paris after the death of a 17-year-old. They said, you know why these people are rioting the way that they are? Bad parenting and video games. Like, there are people that are still using this argument till this day, but then at the same time, it's, what are you going to do about it? Nothing. I'm not going to get voted off because I'm blaming video games. Like, because there are people that actually do believe it till this very day. Like, they don't care about the facts. It's crazy stuff. Oh God, that is wild. Let me look him up. Yeah, Ackman. I heard Ackman has a really good video talking about this. Let's check him out. Oh man, this is
Welcome
good
back,
news
ladies
here.
and gentlemen, to ACT News. I'm your host, the Reporter Man, and today I ask the important questions. Are you giving your child digital heroin?
I don't know why anyone would have Fortnite
Let me
in
get
their
a-
home because it is like giving a child heroin.
Do you or a loved one suffer from gaming disorder?
The World Health Organization recognized a condition known as gaming disorder.
And does the new Call of Duty actually allow you to be a terrorist and kill people? That's right, folks. Our top story of the day is on the dangers of gaming.
Nah, I was
What's up,
raised
everybody?
a super
This is the
soldier.
Act
I am
Man
a
here.
super
and
soldier.
today we're going to be taking a look at some of the most interesting news reports on video games. I've done this before in videos like the War Against Video Games and others.
I just
but
saw that.
Those were more documentary style. This is not. We are going bottom of the barrel, the craziest, most out-of-touch news reports I've ever seen. I feel like it's always interesting to see what mainstream media has to say about video games and what they've had to say about them over the years. Is Fortnite too addictive? How many games put your kids at risk of pedophiles? There's a lot of fun questions for us to answer.
Now, when I first launched my investigation,
I love his
it was a
desk.
slow
His
news
desk
day.
is funny.
And on slow news days, the only thing the news does is fearmonger. But what was I going to fearmonger today? Naturally, it was video games. They're too violent, too sexual. They increase aggressive behavior in adolescents.
Players commit gruesome acts like these using top-of-the-line graphics in stunningly
not Hillary.
realistic detail.
But where to
I almost
begin?
voted for you,
My
Hillary.
investigation.
Come on,
Well,
you could have had
I
my
think
vote.
I found just the right place to start.
The Mid-Missouri Internet
Y'all
Crimes
just
Task
failing
Force
me left
says
and
adults are
right.
now using systems like Nintendo, Wii, Xbox, PlayStation, and Webkins to talk to children inappropriately.
That's right. This is the game, and you actually create your own character, house, and even town. And when
Animal
connected to the
Crossing
internet, you
too.
can
That
talk
is
to people
crazy.
across the country. And kids have no say as to what some of these characters say to them.
I'm not even sure if this is Animal Crossing, by the way. I don't think there's any online feature in Animal Crossing, at least in this one. If anyone's familiar with Animal Crossing, correct me if I'm wrong. But I don't think you could chat with anyone. You only chat with characters in the game. Like, there's no online play here. That is... I love how it's tagged the dangers of Animal Crossing. Oh yeah, I bought Animal Crossing, and Tom Nook was predatory as hell. He's like, you know, Vaughn, I know you owe me $500,000, but you know there are other ways you can pay me. You know, like not the stranger danger. Oh no! What has video games
For
come
example,
to?
this character could be the man in California police are warning about tonight that asked for images from Missouri
He's
children.
just talking to a kid, just so casually. Just walks up to him.
Tour timer? Could be. It could be or it could be the fucking goose on the left. Could also be her.
And kids have no say as to what some of these characters might say to them. For example, this could be the man police are warning about tonight who asked for pictures from Cyrodiil children.
I cannot come up with any legitimate reason that an adult would be playing that particular game.
No reason. No reason for an adult to play Animal Crossing. Only bad reasons.
Anderson says adults playing Animal Crossing, similar games, are likely doing it for the wrong reasons.
Crime alert. We abuse.
Anderson says it is going to take parents paying
Oh,
attention
man.
to keep this problem from
I mean,
exploding.
my
What you'll
my
find in
family
a lot
did
of
have a
these news
Wii,
reports
but
from,
I'm
like, the
so
early
happy we dodged that
mid-2000s,
bullet.
Like, the news tries to
This could've been
frame
much
the
worse.
most innocuous of things as a problem, when really all it comes back to is just parents knowing what the fuck their kids are doing.
Now, right now, we know that only 3 children have been reported as being involved in this. Anderson says
She doesn't
this
have the
is
strap
not
on
a
her wrist.
reason
She's
to
gonna
be
break that
paranoid,
TV.
But is
You wanna break your
something to be
TV?
aware
That's how
of.
you
While
break
it's not
it.
a reason to be paranoid, we are still going to produce a news segment to try and invoke those feelings of paranoia within you. Sponsor time. This is either the best decision I've made or the worst.
That's actually kind of funny. Yo, She had like she had the Wii remote, and she doesn't have this. That's what bothers me, when someone's around their TV with a Wii remote and they don't have the strap around their wrist. That is really bad. That is really freaking bad. I'm like, you're gonna break your TV. Play the wrong game, you're gonna break your TV. But don't worry, guys. It's all good. As you saw just earlier, she got the condom. See that? She got the condom right around the Wii remote. That right there we call the Wii, the Nintendo condom. Yes. It's a plastic protector you put around that that Wii remote. That's it right there. That used to be funny. I used to remember a customer would trade in these things. They'd be like, is there value for these? Or waving like these plastic dildo-looking protection things. And I'm just saying, I'm like, no, we don't take that. Please stop waving that in my face, please. Oh, man. Is that ad? Okay, we can continue.
Graphics.
Kids can't put it down.
It has lots of graphics.
I tell you, the clips they choose are always the fucking funniest.
That's Fortnite right now.
It has lots of graphics.
No wonder gaming gurus
Fortnite?
Nintendo
Lots
DS
of graphics.
is going to redefine portable handheld
Reggie,
gaming the way
let's
iPod
go.
is redefining music.
Well, stop the music. Because it's also redefining how vulnerable your kids are to child molesters.
God. How? Explain to me how you arrived at this point.
Yo, it's funny, because when I had the PlayStation 3, I will say I do understand my dad was somewhat nervous around me having a PlayStation 3 and having access to the internet, because, you know, it's kind of like being a parent. You let your kid out into the playground, they're socializing with other kids, and you're just there praying, God, I hope you're a good kid. Please don't do something stupid. Please don't do something stupid. I'm going to chill and relax on this bench and enjoy the sun, but please don't do something stupid. So and it's like I'm on the PlayStation 3 and I'm hanging out with a whole bunch of strangers just playing, you know, Call of Duty 4. But I think, you know, like, my dad would hear I have friends, and, you know, my dad would tell me, like, hey, listen, just be careful with who you talk to on the internet. Don't be a dummy. All right, I'm not a dummy and everything. But I think it brings a lot of relief to my dad when he hears, like, oh, I'm like, hey, Dad, like, I've been going on a crazy kill streak and everything. He's probably like, oh, let me see what it's all about. So he's watching me playing Call of Duty 4, and my dad is watching, and he's impressed. He's watching, and he probably talks to maybe his friends or other people. He's like, listen, I was nervous about Dev, you know, playing online with strangers, but, you know, all these predators out there, you know, out here for the kids and everything. But my God, Dev just kicks their fucking ass. Like, Dev is in he's in that Call of Duty lobby for business. He don't care. He ain't looking for a good time. He's in it for himself. Like, he is the predator coming after other predators. Like, this dude is coming in with the Punisher vendetta, and he's just murking everybody in every Call of Duty lobby, and I just have to sit there and watch. That's probably just how I see it now, just looking back at that. I think my dad was very relieved about that, because he's there like, oh, that was a natural. Look at you just killing him. Shredding him up, man. And then anytime anybody wants to talk to me, I'm just there like, nah, leave me alone, leave me alone. I only want to play. Hop off. Pop off.
With the game
Pop
capability,
off.
Nintendo DS comes with a feature called PictoChat.
PictoChat? PictoChat?
Oh, let me explain. You open the DS unit, you turn it on, you push PictoChat, and your DS unit is an open book. Anyone can write your child messages, send them sketches, anyone who has a DS unit.
The only reason anybody ever used PictoChat was to draw penises and send them to your siblings as you both giggled in separate rooms. Any other use of PictoChat was illegal.
Here's an example of what
I
can happen.
didn't even have a
With
DS.
Melanie
I think my
and
sister
Marissa
did, though.
upstairs in the bedroom, I was downstairs sending them messages. What's your dog's name? What's your name? Where do you go to school? Where do you live?
You fucking creep. Where do you live? What are you buying?
Where do you...
But wasn't DS connected via, like, wirelessly? Like, you needed to be near the person in order to PictoChat with them. So I could grab, like, a Nintendo DS. Like, you couldn't get a Nintendo DS, and I could just go to, like, a random chat room. Like, this wasn't, like, Yahoo or, like, AOL back in the days. Like, if your child had a DS and a predator was to chat with them through PictoChat, they would have to be around your house. They would, they would get the best reception if they were inside your house or at least at your front doorstep. Until then, there was no way that a stranger could talk to your kid through PictoChat. Like, that was unrealistic. No. Like, no.
In this house that I'm messaging you in?
Marissa's mom was watching as Melanie and Marissa answered my questions, and she didn't like what she saw.
Especially when I saw Melanie write in the address.
+2, 4, 5.
Granted, the girls knew it was me sending the messages, but they'd only met me minutes before.
And I could have been a child molester.
I could have been a child molester. It's the way he said it is so weird. Yo, if a stranger is talking to your child through PictoChat, yo, that is checkmate. That is a horror. That's a horror film of its own. Oh man, no. Right, Nova? Our cat is in my room. She's not even supposed to be here. She probably just wants attention. Aw, que linda. Come over here. I'm not even gonna bring you up, but come on. Give me 1 sec, y'all. How did you get into my room? I thought I closed the door. Yeah, the cat ain't supposed to be in my room because I got eczema. Oh, child molester. Ooh. That's really funny. Yo, and if I was the child that was talking to this person, I would have been sending penis pictures. Skeet, get wrecked. Like, and they were saying like the parents were surprised what they were reading in the text in the PictoChat. I'd be like, yeah, I would have been cursing them out. Be like, yo, who are you? Yo, whose man's is this? Penis everywhere.
And remember Marissa chatting with her friend
1v1 me right
that
now.
Means a molester driving along could see your child in the back seat and start sending messages while you're in the front seat, totally oblivious to what's happening.
Oh my god. Who the fuck is driving and
That's
like trying to
unrealistic.
join PictoChat lobbies? The logistics of that alone make my head spin.
Well, a Colorado family is looking for answers tonight after they say the
Right?
Nintendo gaming
On the
system-
road, you could be driving your car and your child behind you is talking to a stranger through PictoChat. Meanwhile, the predator is driving right alongside the car doing PictoChat at the same time. I'm right behind you. Yo! Like, it's crazy. The little things they would take and you just twist it into, like, this propaganda of some sort. It's wild. I have to give news networks and preachers the credit because they really speak with so much confidence about these things. Like, they know exactly what they're talking about. Oh my god, it's crazy.
System they bought for their 5-year-old.
It's the
had porn
confidence.
loaded onto
It's just
it.
the confidence behind it. Oh, that
Brighton
is
Giles
such
had
a...
wanted a Nintendo 3D.
One more time. Oh god, this is... Oh, one more time.
World had porn loaded onto it. Brighton Giles had wanted a Nintendo 3DS all year.
Wait, it was a 3DS that had porn on it?
When Santa brought it to him, he was ecstatic, but yesterday morning, that excitement turned into horror. When he turned on the gaming system, he found pornographic pictures on the gaming system.
How does that even... I'm so confused.
You know what? You want to know the story? So, boom, hear me out, right? So, the mommy and the daddy went into a GameStop, right? They saw a pre-owned, refurbished, not even refurbished, a pre-owned DS system. They're like, yo, let me cop that for my child. How much does it cost? $50. Bet. Say less. I'm going to get all these games, yada, 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 wrap it up in a gift, put a bow, make it look nice for Christmas. Children come down. Merry Christmas. Open up gifts. Oh my god, it's a Nintendo DS. They pop open the DS. They're playing it. All of a sudden, there's... Oh my god. Why is there porn in my child's DS? What has video gaming come to? What are they putting in these devices? Nintendo, you have a lot to explain. Oh my god. You're just in it for the money. You could give two shits about our kids. Oh my God. How did this go through QA?
Who puts porn on their 3DS? Can you even do that?
That's crazy.
This DS has porn on it. And I handed him the DS and he just got up and walked right to the phone.
I feel so bad for this kid.
He probably called up GameStop and said, hey, I brought a DS from y'all and there's porn on my son's DS. What do you have to say to your son? You know what it is? That's why GameStop stocks are so low as it is, because of that. That's what messed up GameStop. That GameStop associate that traded in the DS, he didn't wipe it. He didn't wipe the system. That's what you're supposed to do. He didn't do his job. This, once again, is the gaming industry failing our kids. It's so... I'm getting a headache thinking about this. Society is failing our kids as a whole. Is that somebody lying? I love how the kid sounds so traumatized. I mean, yes, he's a little kid, so he probably doesn't understand what he saw. He was probably traumatized and everything. But still, that's actually freaking funny.
Honestly, I probably would have done the exact same thing. I probably would have been like, oh my God, Dad, what the fuck? I don't know what this is. And then you got people filming you and like they're putting it on the news and it's like, tell us about the porn you found on your 3DS.
Yo, imagine being that kid and going to school the next day, like after Christmas break, and someone's like, yo, you're the kid. Yo, you have found porn on your DS? Yo, so, and he's a young kid, so like, so, what did you see? It's like, what did you see? Did you see the boobs? Like some shit like that. Did you see boobs? Like, what did you see? Like,
I don't know if you guys caught it, but I'll play it again.
When Santa brought it to him.
Santa.
Santa.
The gift was from Santa. A DS with porn on it. So not only did this kid experience some traumatic shit, but he probably hates Santa now.
His father first called GameStop where he bought the system. They told Giles that the images were from a previous owner and they weren't caught before the refurbishing device was sold.
So who the fuck puts porn on the 3DS?
I knew it! I freaking knew! I'm like, there's no reason there would be that kind of content on a DS unless it came from GameStop. Nowhere else, unless you got that from Facebook Marketplace. Well, at least not Facebook Marketplace here because it was a long time ago. But unless you got it from eBay or some random schmo at a yard sale or something, there is no way you could have bought that DS brand new and it was already like inappropriate content in there. There is absolutely no way, and I freaking called it.
Yes, and then trades it in. Moving on.
Think of all the security dangers we've exposed involving online games and interactive sites. This one tonight is different.
I'm so ready.
ABC 15 investigator Joe Ducey takes us into a fake world, creating real problems for one local family.
He was so upset. I mean, he was just heartbroken. I mean, this was his whole Christmas.
She's talking about real money lost in a virtual world, a world set in medieval times.
RuneScape? We got a fucking news report on RuneScape.
It's where an 11-year-old like Timmy Easter of Gilbert can act
This
like...
is Timmy! Y'all, this is little Timmy we be talking about. Let's go, Timmy!
Someone much older, catching shark.
Every shark you catch,
It's worth 1,000 coins.
Oh man.
Woo!
This has not aged well. Looks like the stock price of sharks in RuneScape has gone way...
Let me see. RuneScape prices, 1 month change, 6 month change. Oh, god damn. Let me see. 2022. Damn. I didn't know RuneScape had like stocks. That's crazy. What the heck happened to the sharks? Why did it go down? Like, what happened? Did Elon Musk just say like fishing for sharks is a side hustle and then stocks plummeted there? Like, just like that? Oh, jeez. What happened?
Way down.
Fighting enemies.
you killed him?
Yeah.
You killed him? Yeah.
He spent years gaining a high level in an online game called RuneScape. Timmy and his family recently learned this virtual world is full of some real-life dangers.
He said, "Excuse me, Hellslayer, can I speak to you for a moment?"
He's even lower now? Holy shit.
Oh my god, is this like 9-year-old kid? And his RuneScape name is Hellslayer?
In just minutes, Timmy's password was hacked, stolen. His account with all these points and belongings emptied out.
It's your items, and to have someone steal it without hesitation, it's just wrong.
That is wrong. Imagine putting all that hard work and effort, like homeboy, like little Timmy over here is the textbook definition of the grind culture. You know, he was in RuneScape, he was making that bread, putting in that hard work, networking with his people, saying, let's get this bread. And someone just had to hack him and wipe him of all that he has. A complete empire ruined. That is wild, right? I feel bad for him too. Shoot, if I put so much time and effort into something like that, making money on World of Warcraft only for my shit to get stolen, yeah, I'd be fucking mad. And the parents are probably sitting here like, the hell is this? It's just video games. I'm sitting here like, it's not just a video game, Mom. It's a business. I'm conducting business. I'm in a Zoom meeting. Can you leave, please? I'm in the middle of a meeting. The prices on sharks is plummeting. I need to think of a plan. Let me just talk of my villain arc. Yo, the villain arc. Did you remember that kid that got mad that his mom deleted his World of Warcraft? Oh, okay. We're not going to go to that video, but please remind me to play that video before we end the live stream, because that shit is wild. Anyways.
Let's have a moment of silence for Timmy and so many others whose RuneScape accounts were hacked. Thank you.
You may be thinking, who cares? It's just fake points in a make-believe world.
I care, Joe. I care.
Then at Christmas it was coming up, and I told everybody, all the relatives, give him cash.
Grandmother Claire Kephart says Timmy received and spent $140 real dollars to buy virtual swords and armor.
What an awesome grandma. Give him cash so he can pay his membership fee in RuneScape. What a G.
Attorney General.
That's a real one. Yo, again, like, I always said this, like, my grandmother, when she brought me the PlayStation 3 DDR, I appreciate her for that. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying, oh, I hate this gift, Grandma, I hate it. But, yo, like, your grandparents always come in clutch. They're probably the very demographic that don't understand video games, but they'll do anything for their grandkid. They could give two fucks. Like, as long as it puts a smile on your face, they're happy. Like, you got I think I would honestly believe if someone came up to me and told me, you do know grandparents actually spend more money on Fortnite for their kids than parents do, I wouldn't be surprised. I wouldn't. Like, someone's grandparents, grandmama, grandpapa's giving little Timmy like $100 a month to spend money on Fortnite. I would not be surprised, honestly. Like,
General Terry Goddard has another concern.
They brought in an attorney general on this story.
The sinister part of the people, the adults leading the 11-year-old to another site, is the adults leading 11-year-olds to personal contact.
Oh, yeah. Okay, so funny story. This one time, me and my brother met someone on RuneScape, and we asked them if they knew where our elementary school was, and we agreed to meet them. And I was in the 3rd grade, my brother was in 6th grade, and we left a note at home saying, we're going to meet this person we met online, we're going to Ben Franklin. We left that for our parents, and we were about to leave, and my stepmom came running down the door, so like, you are not going there, like freaking out, and I couldn't understand why, because I was so innocent at the time.
Last year, a Dutch court took virtual crime seriously, prosecuting 2 teens for stealing imaginary items on RuneScape.
There was a court case for that?
That's crazy.
Oh my God. Let's move on.
So you can see right here, I'm getting ready to
serve.
Woo! Just throw that ball up
Let's
in the
go,
air.
baby!
Oh, geez. And there goes.
He didn't have the strap. He didn't have the. Wait, he does. No, I see the thing. What the hell was that?
So you can see right here, I'm getting ready to serve. All I do is throw that ball up in the air, and when oh, jeez.
What was he had a racket? Did it just fall loose and it hit that TV?
And there goes the tennis racket.
Oh my God, that was the tennis racket. I thought he had the Wii remote. I didn't think. This you have the condom? Because of shit like this. Why? Oh God, it's amateur energy. If you came through to play Wii Sports and you come in with a tennis racket, I'm roasting you. I am roasting you. In fact, I will grab the Wii remote, take off the condom, and I will fight you with this Wii remote. I'm raw dogging it, yo. That is just, oh.
Oh my God, dude. So many TVs and mirrors and controllers were broken during the Wii times. I remember we got that the day the Wii came out, and we threw that fucking remote so quickly. I'm surprised we didn't break anything.
I didn't have it on there all the way. Make sure that your accessories are definitely latched on all the way.
I love how they're playing this off like, oh, we just broke a TV. Oh, Jacob, you get us every time, huh? You and your shenanigans. When will you ever learn? Like, I love how these like channels like HSN really sell their stuff. Like, those people are god tier salesmen. I'll give it to them.
That's not a good idea. And by the way, the little Wii remote, do you like that?
You like that?
The little Wii remote, do you like that?
And now we're going back to the 90s, when Pokemon was really starting to take off. Pokemania, they called it.
Be forewarned if you haven't been
I didn't know it was
already, the
Pokemania.
hottest thing in the 12 and under set is coming soon to a theater near you. Pokemon the movie joined.
Fuck yeah, I went and saw that movie in theaters, man. I still got my Ancient Mew cards. Let me go find them. Boom. Check that out. That was the sweetest thing in the world to me as a kid.
That's an OG.
Check out that sick holographic.
So what exactly is a Pokemon? Cute, cuddly characters who become supercharged so they can fight their
how
enemies.
can you see that as a devil?
But
It's so
some
adorable.
experts say the entire Pokemon phenomenon is the enemy. But some experts say the entire Pokemon phenomenon is the enemy.
I love you. Let's be best friends and destroy the
Oh, South Park
In my
nailed
opinion, parents
this.
should not let their kids watch Pokemon,
You wasn't outside.
play Pokemon, buy Pokemon cards, have anything whatsoever to do with Pokemon.
If that was my mother, I would have hated life as a child. Seeing all my buddies playing Pokemon and like my mom is the only one that's like, nope, you can't. It's dangerous.
I think it's crazy that, like, if we're talking about Pokemon and there's that one person that says, I didn't get a chance to, play Pokemon or experience Pokemon because my parents were adamantly against it, maybe for, like, religious reasons or cultural, whatever, I would feel, my heart would break. Because this was really a day in, this is a funny face to freeze on, but it's just, every kid just was all about Pokemon. Like, just to be outside of that craze was just, that's just sad. Like, I can only imagine what it was like just being the kid that would see all these kids with Pokemon games on their Game Boy or playing Pokemon cards, and they would talk about the latest Pokemon episodes, and you just couldn't have a piece of that because your parents had some sort of gripe against Pokemon. Was watching the wrong news, going to the wrong church, or they read the wrong news article, something. It was like, okay, no more Pokemon. There's not gonna be no Pokemon in this house. Like, oh jeez. That's sad.
Violent.
That is
Because
so
the message
sad.
is violence.
The message in Pokemon is violence. Wait till Call of Duty comes out.
But many parents
No Russian.
disagree.
It's really, I think, an okay thing for the kids because they learn to save their allowance, to budget for it, and they learn to trade and be kind of reasonable with their friends.
Finally, a parent that talks some sense. I almost feel like this sole report was the inspiration for the Chim Pokemon episode of South Park.
The American government lies to you. Join the fight for Japanese supremacy of the world. More to come.
Like, their satire was spot on.
They were. That South Park episode was really
Am I the only one who misses Fat Pikachu? Write in the comments if you miss Fat Pikachu.
School officials are finding that
Yeah, Fat
Pokemon
Pikachu
cards
was
are
was
responsible
more
for
cuddleable.
fistfights, and the constant trading is not only distracting kids from classwork, but turning the playground into a black.
These kids, they were big brain. You You step into that room, oh God, these kids don't play around. They mean business. These are some young entrepreneurs in the making right now. That was the oh my God, it was the black market. Parents didn't understand how serious it was to sit around that table full of kids and just being like, show me your collection. Y'all remember that scene from like American Psycho? Hey, KP, show me your collection. My collection? Alright. Mewtwo. Pokemon movie. 2000. Oh my God. It even has a watermark on it. Oh man, it was serious, man. It's like, listen, we train cards or we train with money? How's this gonna go?
Black market.
Hey, Timmy. I'll give you a Blastoise for your lunch money. I feel like back in the 90s and early 2000s, all of these news reports, it was like fear-mongering around children. Because it was still like somewhat new to parents, and they didn't know what to think of it, and the news was right there to be like, hey, this is how video games and Pokemon are fucking up your child.
I really feel that if parents embraced Pokemon more and let kids do what they do, trading Pokemon, even selling Pokemon cards, may it be for lunch money or whatever, I really think a lot of kids, including myself today, would be like businessmen. We would be running multi-million-dollar empires right now. Just the skill of learning how to talk with people, knowing what you want, what I want, and finding some sort of compensation, and just climbing up that social status like ladder. I think we could have just had so much skills that's just the business background behind it. Like imagine shoving like 20 years of like business management experience into a 12-year-old kid. Like oh man, your job is looking at your resume like, oh, I see you have multiple years of experience with stocks and e-commerce and trading. What do you do? What's your secret? Oh, I was playing with Pokemon cards since I was a kid. You know, my parents, gave me a small loan of maybe like $100,000 to invest into Pokemon cards. And ever since then, I took those Pokemon cards and I learned how to, built upon like my communication skills. I've partnered with other kids in the playground, especially in places like Central Park, which is very big, by the way. We would trade Pokemon cards and I developed a market from there. And within a single month, I was able to generate around, $25,000, which is already a fraction of what the loan my parents paid me. And I was able to pay off my parents' loans in about a year. And they're like, oh my, this kid is phenomenal. Whoa! Whoa! You are hired, sir. You are absolutely hired. I really feel that could have been a thing in a different universe.
But that psychiatrist who had that quote last, that how bad Pokemon is, I guarantee you these people haven't seen any of the cartoons at all. They have no concept at all.
This fucking guy. I love this guy.
Let's
like,
go! Rip him up!
Thing.
Rip
How do
him
you
up!
answer the question? Is this just toy collectibles? Is it a movement? Is it a craze? Is it a state of being?
It's a craze for little kids to enjoy themselves with. Adults are not going to get into this a lot. I think through the holidays, guaranteed, and I can probably guarantee you there's another year and a half to this craze. It hasn't even peaked yet.
Yo, imagine going back to the year 2000 and thinking to yourself, like, listen, like, yes, Pokemon is big and everything, but listen, just like everything else when it comes to kids these days, it's a trend. It's gonna come and go. Like, parents really need to just dial it back and just relax. He was right on everything, but that comment right there, he was wrong. Like, that in itself did not age very well. Like, Pokemon is still a big thing right now. Like, Pokemon is eating good. Like, they got nothing to worry about. Pokemon can have a bad year or two, and they will treat it like any other day. Like, it's business as usual. Let's keep it moving. Like,
it appears it lasted a good 24 years and is still going strong, actually. What else we got?
Call it Pokemon Pandemonium. As the map-based game explodes in popularity, players are flooding into public spaces, creating some problems. Jenny Latimer discovered a memorial plaque for her son became a Pokestop. where players earn rewards.
All right, can I just say, okay, so I think they're going to talk about Pokemon Go, because that's what it really, hang on, let me just make sure.
God.
Because they pulled out the iPhones, they pulled out the phones.
Oh, I don't know whether to laugh or cry laughing.
In Vancouver, James Roy created a sign to stop players from trampling his garden.
3 nights in a row, we had people asking and sort of trying to get in through the other gate of our yard. And, you know, I thought, well, like, you know, we have kale here. We can't have that, like, stomped over and stuff.
We have kale. What are you kids doing? You're stomping all over my kale. Though I feel bad. I don't condone, you know, vandalism and everything. The kids shouldn't have gone over the fence. We need to capture, I don't know, a Vaporeon by stomping over this man's kale. Like, guys, think of the food we could have. You're stomping on our food supply for a virtual monster. What do you mean? Now, I will say, Pokemon Go was wild. I was part of that craze. I remember I was playing with my high school friends. We would travel to 14th 2nd Street, and we made it our mission to walk from 14th Street, cross over to, like, the 10th Avenue, or whatever, 8th Avenue, and then we would walk up to 59th Street. So from 14th Street to 59th Street, we was walking 40 blocks, just capturing Pokemon. And I'm not gonna lie to you, I probably spent a total of, I remember I spent money the moment I got into Pokemon Go. I probably spent around $250 on Pokemon Go, and I was committed. I was just buying Pokeballs and just capturing all the Pokemon while I could. And I remember when I was DJing at the time, I had one of my coworkers, she also played Pokemon Go, and after I would be done DJing, she's done dancing, we would hang out together, head over to Central Park, and there would be a crowd of people playing Pokemon at like 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock at night, chilling at Central Park. The whole thing. Like a whole get-together. And we would just sit there, we'd be vibing, chilling, talking about today's work, today's, like, what happened at the club and whatnot, while playing Pokemon. And mind you, it was very active there, but it was crazy. It was definitely a time.
That is probably the most Canadian thing I have ever heard. All right, what's next?
New alert from the World Health Organization about video game addiction. The organization is now designating gaming disorder as a mental health condition.
Gaming disorder. Michael Strahan,
yeah, I heard
what
this
the
was
hell
big.
Are you doing on ABC News?
Like the fact that
video gaming disorder?
Some saying it's about time
This is
we
pretty
recognize
big.
the intense pull of video games, given the science that shows there could be some addictive nature to them.
Some addictive nature to
Some.
them. Just a little.
Could be some addictive nature to them. This morning, the World Health Organization raising a red flag. For the first time, adding gaming disorder to their list of addictive activities, likening it to substance abuse and gambling disorders.
It might be fine to give this its own classification, but just like the phrase gaming disorder, it's just so fucking funny.
It is funny, but it's very broad because like a gaming disorder could be anything. You can literally play video games. Like you could play, say, I don't know. We'll just say any game with loot boxes. Any game with loot boxes, and say like FIFA. FIFA is big on their loot boxes and everything else. You could play that for like a few hours a week, no more than like 5 or 10. But you spend a lot of money on those loot boxes to get like a high-ranking, like, soccer player and everything. And people will look at that and say, oh, that's a gaming disorder because you're spending thousands and thousands of dollars on a soccer game, a video game. What are you doing? That's a gaming disorder. And it's like, that's less of a gaming disorder and more of a gambling issue. If I'm spending thousands and thousands and thousands of dollars in hopes I'll get Lionel Messi in my fantasy team for soccer, that is a gambling issue. That's not a gaming issue. A gaming issue would be for me to say, play video games, and I'm disregarding anything that revolves around like my social life, my love life, my professional life. I think that right there is when it becomes a gaming disorder, or you have an addiction to gaming that you definitely need to address because you're prioritizing video games over things that are more important, you know, maybe socially, professionally, or anything like that. But then if you're talking about, say, just spending so much money into something like, say, Fortnite, where you're collecting all these skins, and like the loot boxes and whatnot is what I meant. I mean, like, that's not gaming. That's more gambling. But as far as like buying skins go, when people complain about all these kids are buying all these things in Fortnite and they're buying cosmetics and skins and everything, it's like, okay, but that's almost the near equivalent of buying Pokemon cards or Yu-Gi-Oh cards. You buy them to collect. There are kids that spend money on Fortnite because, not gonna lie to you, Fortnite really has a strong sense of fashion for their characters. There are so many skins and cosmetics out there, and there are kids out there that feel compelled to buy them all, like as you would like Pokemon. Gotta catch them all, right? So that's where the video game craze becomes a thing. Like, I mean, the trading card craze becomes a thing. You want to collect them all. Now, I think after being in GameStop, they put so much money into Fortnite because the skins, they want to collect it. If you have this skin, it's almost like, yo, I was here. You're not going to get this skin because you didn't play Fortnite at the time. This skin right here represents my seniority in the game. I was here, you wasn't. Like, there was a time I got Skull Trooper. He's like a Season 1 character in Fortnite. Now, whenever there's kids that talk about skins and they ask me, oh, like, what skins you got? What skins you got? Oh, I got the Skull Trooper. Kids look at me like, wait, so you're a day one player in Fortnite? And I'm like, yeah. And they're like, oh shit, like, I don't know what it is with Skull Trooper in Fortnite, but if you have that skin, you are an official OG. Like, no one can shit on you. Like, you was there at Fortnite since day one. Like, that skin right there holds so much, like, I have no idea. The culture behind it is crazy. But anyways, let me not get sidetracked. But yeah, this is very broad.
Well, to be fair, I probably got gaming disorder. Every news report, everyone that talks about like video games and the dangers it has on children, you can always boil it down to just parents should be involved in their kids' lives.
Anderson says it is going to take parents paying attention to keep this problem from exploding.
And recommend talking to your kids.
As a parent, there are some things you can do to protect your kids.
So what this does is it forces parents to be parents.
Hello, moms and dads.
Well,
it forces parents to be parents. What do you mean?
With them, you know, so that
maybe we should give kids video games so their parents understand how bad of a parent they are.
You know, it's not always the kid with the problem. It may be the parent with the problem.
You know, I mean, you have to be involved in what your kids are looking at.
It's up to parents to control what their kids are seeing.
It could be a growing addiction, potentially stunting the development of children.
And again, this goes back to that whole riot that's going on in Paris, and I guess the president of France saying, again, it comes in a full circle. What's the reason why there's so much damage and arson going on in Paris? Bad parenting and video games. That's always what it comes down to. Oh, your kid is obsessed with Fortnite? Well, maybe you should step up as a parent and cut that shit out, you know? But I think as a parent, I'm not a parent, so I can't say anything. There's only so much that you can look out for because your kids move quick. And if you're 1 or 2 steps behind them, you'd be surprised how much damage your child could do if you're at least 1 step behind them, you know? So I can't speak for them, but I have to say, kids are quick, and you just gotta, it's either you know or you don't, you know? It's better you know sooner than later.
One doctor uses the term digital heroin.
It was only a matter of time before we equated gaming addiction with hardcore drug abuse.
They say he won't stop, can't stop playing video games online.
Fucking intervene in his life, man. Tell him, get your ass off the computer chair, go outside. That's what my parents would do.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
I said, man, it always comes back to like just parents being involved.
What's a typical day in Josh's life?
Me and my dad bonded with Call of Duty.
11, 12,
Hello?
and then he would be on until like 1, 2 in the morning.
12 hours.
Easily.
Easily 12.
Yeah.
Instead of enforcing any kind of rules or discipline on our child, what did we do? We went straight to ABC News.
But why didn't you just take the computer away? I don't understand.
Great question.
Because when we did take it away, there was a lot of problems in our house with this behavior.
I don't have a child.
That didn't answer the question.
My parents took my consoles away when I did bad shit, and you know there were problems for a bit, but it's like they're my parents. What am I gonna do?
Right, exactly.
The term digital heroin. Really, digital heroin? Is it that bad?
Yes, because I'm a fucking idiot.
Al and Christina are wondering if Josh's brain can give them any clues as to what is wrong. So they take him for a functional
They
MRI.
really go
They're
deep
taking a
into
fucking
this,
brain
like,
scan of this 14-year-old kid.
like as if he has like a brain
Just take
tumor
the
or
shit
something.
away.
His theory, yet to be proven, is that excessive gaming may change brain activity. Josh's brain scans are troubling.
We've seen this type of neurological deterioration in gamers who prefer to play Call of Duty Vanguard.
There should be much more active.
There should be more red.
There should be more red.
What else we got?
Are the words PlayStation Portable going to end up on your kid's Christmas list? PSPs are good, clean fun, right?
Yeah.
So
Hells
why are
yeah.
they also known by the name PlayStation Portable?
Not the PlayStation Portal. Yo, that is crazy. I wonder if my family bought me the PSP and ever came across this. Like, wait, there could be porn on the PSP? Wait, did we just buy them a PSP? Wait, was it the Vita? Oh my god, oh my god, oh my god. Was it the PSP? Was it the Vita? Oh my god. We gotta do something about this.
We don't want to spoil anybody's Christmas, but there are hidden dangers parents should be aware of.
You don't want to spoil anyone's Christmas, but there could be porn on your child's video game console.
Portable gaming devices are all the rage, with a generation of teens convincing their parents they're a must-have.
Oh, hell yeah, dude. Playing Battlefront 2? Yes. Yeah, buddy. That's the right footage right
I'm
there.
not a fan
That's
of
the
Star
perfect
Wars,
footage.
Inside is a high-powered computer that, with a Wi-Fi connection, can access the internet.
Parents can watch their child on the internet in the kitchen, in the living room. But with this, you can take it anywhere.
And that opens up Pandora's box.
Woo!
What is happening? How to build a bomb?
I never thought that searching up how to build a bomb would be something that would show up on the news as far as owning a PSP. As if, like, that's not something that you can do on your home computer at any time. Like, I'm not sure if they're painting it as like, oh my god, you could do so many things on the... Yes, you can. Let me just say this. The PSP was ahead of its time because you could watch movies, you can go, you can have a photo album, you can play video games, you can chat with your friends, you can surf the internet. Like, the PlayStation, the PSP had its own internet browser. Now, mind you, the internet browser was ass. I don't even think you could watch videos on there, honestly. The only thing you could see is, like, images, and that was really it. But even then, like, the PSP was completely different compared to the DS. Like, the DS was just, oh, you could play video games, picto chat with your next door, like, friend, and that was it. Like, at the other door. But the PSP was really strong. And I'm not gonna lie to you, yes, you could do these things. Yes, pornography was definitely accessible on the PSP. Yes, you can go to Google and you can search up a lot of things on there. And and I think majority of parents had no idea that the PSP was capable of doing these things. Like, it was a computer for kids before we even knew it was a computer for kids. But then we have the iPhone and the Galaxy, and now look where we are now.
Ku Klux Klan? Oh my god. It went from 0 to 100 so fast.
A Minnesota boy got into trouble when he brought his PlayStation Portable to school.
This is an incident that has opened our eyes.
On a dare, Jeff Harris showed his friends how his PSP could display pictures of naked women.
And that kid was the hero in middle school.
He
I
was.
like how they
He
said that
probably
on a dare.
was.
That is just perfect.
Porn isn't the only danger out there.
What is?
Hatred, violence, and the means to carry out deadly schemes can all be accessed through gaming devices with an internet connection.
White power websites. Who the what kind of fucking teenager is going?
Now, that's not something I heard. I didn't really... imagine you got a couple white supremacists be like, hey, we just hired this kid from his PSP. He just stumbled upon this website. He was just asking what the hype is all about. He wants to know more about white power. So now he's part of the group. Now, like, I've never heard of that, you know? That is great. That's the first time I've heard that. But the whole porn thing, I get it. Yes, that was accessible. But then at the same time, they're making this whole hullabaloo thing where it's like, you could do this on your computer, you know? But I get it. It's a gaming system, and you're able to do these things, so that alone is very concerning. I don't know. I'll give it to the news and the media. They did it. I'm so exhausted. Like, damn, y'all really got me. Maybe video games are bad after all. Maybe I should just give up all my gaming and just live a normal life. You know, maybe there is some corruption going on. Maybe I'm in the position that I am today because of video games.
It means you might not take iron crosses all over a website as a warning sign that you should immediately leave. And if you don't leave, you might start reading and buying into hateful ideas there.
The greatest danger of all may be a child predator posing as another gamer.
Every single one of these, man, it's all the same. And why do they have RuneScape footage? Could you actually play RuneScape on a PSP? That would have been pretty sick.
No,
this is a classic right here. Mass Effect sex scandal. Sex bokes? New video game shows full digital nudity and sex.
What was that Family Guy skit with the hillbillies, the rednecks that were fighting over like a gaming system, and they had their pants like hanging down, but of course their private area was covered by their long dirty ass shirts, and they were fighting with it. They're like, no, it's my Xbox. He's like, no, it's my sex box, and her name is Sony. That shit was wild. I will never forget that.
Role-playing video game that is leaving nothing to the imagination. Mass Effect is what it's called. It's made for Microsoft's Xbox system, and it features in some parts of this, you'll see full digital nudity. Imagine.
Hell yeah, you will. Yeah, that's why it's a masterpiece, baby. I'm pretty sure like 90% of the clips I gathered are from Fox News.
And the ability for the players to engage
That is
in
true.
graphic
That
sex,
is another
and
trend.
The person who's playing the game gets to decide exactly what's going to happen between the two people, if you know what I mean.
If you know, you get to decide what's gonna happen between the two people, if you know what I mean. Yeah, you could do the same thing on Sims, and they call it woohoo, and your parents would not bat an eyelash. I'm surprised Sims hasn't even caught on to this. Like, Sims is probably looking at this whole, like, craze, like, this whole video game is bad thing, and they're giving it the side eye, like, I hope they're not talking about me. I hope they don't bring me up. Please, please, please. Like, Animal Crossing got it, Mass Effect got it, Pokemon got it. No one says anything about Sims. And again, I remember playing Sims as a kid. Like, I mean, of course, the sex scenes were pixelated and blurred out, and it looks like two people are fighting under the sheets and everything. But my God, like, that in itself was kind of concerning. It's like, am I even allowed to play this? What the hell? But I will hear people say, like, yeah, I played Sims when I was a kid. I would play Sims from the moment I wake up to the time I go to sleep. And I'm just saying, I'm like, oh my God, I can only imagine how much babies you made on Sims within that 12-hour span. That's crazy. And your parents said nothing?
What? Press X to thrust? Is that what you think?
It sort of cracks me up whenever I hear a company say that, you know, there's all these controls in there that you can monitor the time and you can, you know, but basically Pandora's box is open.
Let's talk about who the video game is for.
Pandora's
It might be
box.
for adults, but if you look at the statistics, who is playing video games but adolescent males, not their dads? So that's the first thing. The damage is this. We know that all the research shows that violence
dad plays
has
video
a
games. How dare you?
desensitizing effect. Well, sexuality does too.
No, it doesn't, you dumb cunt.
And here's how they're seeing women. They're seeing them as these objects of desire, as these, you know, hot bodies. I mean, they don't show women as being valued for anything other than their sexuality.
Okay. That argument of itself, yes, it is plausible depending on what you're talking about. There's context behind this. But yes, for the most part, that is the case. And like I mentioned before, video games were marketed towards men. So if you was going to add a female character that was going to be, you know, have some sort of significant impact in your gaming experience, they had to look like eye candy. And I can definitely agree with that.
And it's a man in this game deciding how many women he wants to be with.
Jeff Keighley is going to ask the question that I want to ask, and it's going to be really funny.
All right, let's get Jeff in on this.
All right, that's
go ahead,
completely
Jeff.
incorrect. Yeah, that's completely incorrect. First of all, you can actually play as
That's
a
him!
man or a woman in the game. Cooper, have you ever played Mass Effect?
Let's go! Let's go!
That's it.
That's how Wow, you crushed the conversation! Yo, have you ever played Mass Effect? No? So why is that game in your mouth right now? Why do you have this game in your mouth like as if you played this game from beginning to end? You don't know shit about the game. You only saw like a romantic scene, a sexual scene, and you just painted it as like this bad game that kids are playing, and it's gonna turn into like sex-craved fiends that's gonna sexually objectify women, and you're just there like, have you even played the game? Because that is literally like not even a fraction of the game. That's a fraction of a percentage of the game, and you're focusing on that of all things. That is insane. He hit it right on the money.
That's all you need to know. That's all you need to hear. We can move on to the next segment now. I like how she's doing this like full-on report, and she's so sure of what she's talking about, but she's never played the game.
Cooper, have you ever played Mass Effect?
No.
No.
Well, I think what's interesting about this, we talk about, sexuality in the media. One of the great things about Mass Effect, for people that have played it know this is a sort of a choose-your-own-adventure story, and it doesn't force you down any situation. You can actually play through this game without the sexual situation ever happening.
Right, and the young boys are
game.
going to be choosing not to have sex. That'll be what they'll choose.
What if I was asexual? What if I have no sexual attraction to women? What if I'm gay? I'm like, listen, I have no interest in women. Like, hey, yo, like, homegirl, like, I ain't down like that, you know? Yeah, the lines on my pride flag is straight, but my shit's not straight. My shit is a noodle. It's all over. You don't know that. You don't know that at all. Please. Yeah, don't project your culture wars on me. Like,
I mean,
no,
let's be
because
realistic
it's not
here.
a simple choice. But Cooper, it's not a simple choice. You don't turn to the game and says, "Would you like to have sex or not?"
I love that Jeff is like shilling for Mass Effect on this Fox
He
News segment, and
is.
this lady who has never played it and doesn't know what the fuck she's talking about.
he really just gives it to you straight. Have you played Mass Effect? No. So why would you say that Mass Effect is something like, paint Mass Effect as if like this bad game where you could deliberately choose, hey, do you want to have sex with this character? Yes or no? Like, what's that game in the ads like, what is it, Evony, Evony, something like that, and they have like the sexy girls advertised in their ads. Like, I really think that when people think of video games, that's what a lot of boys today are seeing. Like this sexually attractive woman, and it's like, do you want to ravage me along with ravaging the enemy kingdom? And you can select yes or no, and you see the button click leaning towards the yes. Like, you know you want to ravage that village. I know you do. Like, I really think that's what people see whenever they think about video games and how bad it is for kids, honestly. That's just how I'm thinking. Like,
She's acting like she's all high and mighty.
It's just like modeling your life, and I think that's a much more powerful form of media.
Darlin, I gotta go with the
play through a game.
research. And the research says, there's a new study out of University of Maryland right now that says that boys that play video games cannot tell the difference between what they're seeing in a video game and the real world.
University of Maryland is full of fucking idiots. Dude, even as a 3-year-old playing Mario 64 and Pokemon Red and Blue and StarCraft, I knew the difference between real life and what I was seeing on the screen.
yeah, exactly. Was I gonna say, like StarCraft, for instance? Am I looking at cockroaches and thinking they're going to sacrifice their bodies to create this huge nest and duplicate more roaches? No. I mean, sure, Sarah Kerrigan from StarCraft was something else. Like, Sarah Kerrigan from StarCraft was like the Samus of like Nintendo, but Sarah Kerrigan had something going on, and then she became like this manifestation of Zerg. And my God, the way how she just controls an army, I was like, you dirty little you. Ooh.
Gotta go with the research. Did you just call him Darlin? Oh my God, you're unbearable.
Fantastic
Cooper,
game, and sex is a small little part of it.
All right, thank you very much to Jeff and Cooper. Let's go around the panel really
Let's
quickly.
go.
They gave him like 1 minute to discuss this before
They
moving on.
did.
Come on, Fox. We gotta
Fox
cut him off.
did
Jeff
not-
is speaking
they
the
didn't wanna
actual
hear
truth of
that.
the game. We gotta cut it off, and we gotta go with our narrative.
An adults-only rating. That's the highest rating that it can have. So first of all, this board that rates them needs to have their head examined. And this made me feel old watching this. What happened to Atari and Pinball and Pac-Man?
God,
The future is now, old man. We're done with those times.
you are old. You are so old. You are even older after this clip.
Be careful here. Let's face it, there's all kinds of bad stuff coming through the internet, through video games, and the reality is, I would argue, that the government cannot and should not censor everything coming across the web and in video games. At the end of the day, it's just like Chet said, it's up to parents to control what their kids are seeing.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Finally, someone on Fox News talks some sense.
Brianna is describing the first time she accidentally stumbled into a strip club on Roblox.
And that's where we're gonna call it a day. But hope you enjoyed the video.
Oh man, okay, so for those that don't know, so yes, I forgot what happened. Basically, a journalist stumbled upon like Roblox, and they wanted to see what Roblox was all about. Probably write a little article about Roblox. My memory's kind of foggy, but then this journalist came across this mini game. So for those that don't know Roblox is a game creation platform. You can create any game in Roblox. You can I've seen like a bootleg version of Call of Duty in Roblox. It's insane. And the way how that game plays is impressive. Like, I really see it as like the palate cleanser of like Call of Duty Modern Warfare. So games like that exist. You can create a game in there. And this journalist stumbled upon this game in Roblox where you can actually venture through a strip club. And mind you, we all know Roblox is for kids. So the fact that you have this strip club game in a kids game was raising alarms, and they just went off with it. It's freaking crazy. I don't know much about Roblox. I think we should actually venture into that some other time. But yeah, Roblox is the wild, wild west because you can make any game on there. It's wild.
Leave a like if you did, and subscribe to the Act Man for more awesome content. Don't forget to order your everyday earbuds and use my code to get a...
And that's about it, huh? That was actually really interesting. That was really interesting. Yo, we really watched through all of that. That was a journey of itself. That was crazy. And it's still happening till this day. Just... these video games need to stop. It's getting ridiculous. And not to mention, video games has been so freaking huge. So huge. Like, entertainment-wise, video games is an unstoppable force. Like, video games is making more money than film, books, TV shows, like, all of that. Like, it's just blowing the entertainment industry out the wazoo. And I don't know, man. Yeah, that was good. That was actually pretty good. I wonder if there was any controversial games. Because let's admit, there are video games that are pretty controversial. And I don't want to paint video games as this, you know, holy hobby. That's nothing wrong with it. I'm sure there are games that are just pretty bad and we shouldn't even be playing them. Ooh, I want to watch this. The 10 most controversial video games ever. I would like to watch this. How long is it? I don't want to be here too long. Give myself a couple minutes. We can probably skim over this.
Video game companies spend years finalizing their products to ensure they're of the highest caliber upon the time of release. But developers also have to ensure their games don't fall victim to another problem, generating controversy. But no matter how hard the developers try, some games are destined to have parents and politicians up in arms. And we're not talking about the usual suspects like Mortal Kombat and Manhunt. Those games were always going to get flack. We're looking at games that would have...
Manhunt was wild. For those that don't know, Manhunt was... I'll let you guys watch it. But Manhunt is fucked. Like, if you guys thought GTA was bad, Manhunt would step into the chat. They would enter the chat.
Avoided a rumpus if it wasn't for one level. I'm Jess from What Culture, and here are the 10 most controversial video game levels ever. Number 10. Uprising, Battlefield 3. Because PETA was founded to protect animals, it sounds like the organization has nothing but the purest intentions. But more often than not, PETA goes way too far. Over the years, they've claimed milk causes autism, suggested the word pet is a slur, and bad-mouthed Steve Irwin immediately after he died. They also called Super Mario an animal killer because he wears a raccoon suit? As
Yes.
you do. Sadly, this isn't the only time PETA has attacked the gaming community. In the second mission of Battlefield 3, there's a section where the player is prompted to kill a rat before tossing it away. Even though thousands of people die throughout this first-person shooter, it's a war game after all, PETA only took umbrage with Battlefield 3 because it, quote, treats animals in a sadistic manner. They also stated the rat-killing sequence will have a, quote, brutalizing effect on the young male target audience. Although there's no evidence that players were traumatized by this rat.
I just want to say fuck you to PETA only because PETA, I swear to God, any money that's given to PETA, 9 out of 10 times, they're going to put that towards marketing and lawsuits. That's really it. And also, fuck you to PETA for the sole fact that they were shit-talking Steve Irwin after he died. And for those that don't know, basically, PETA said something along the lines of like, oh, well, he got stung by a stingray. Maybe he could have minded his own business and he would have gotten stung. This is what happens when you fuck with animals. And everybody ripped PETA apart for that comment. Like, y'all should not... Steve Irwin did more for the animal kingdom than PETA could ever in their entirety of their lives. Steve Irwin has done so much more. PETA is just all talk. Like, even down to saying, oh, Pokemon promotes, like, animal fighting, cage fighting, or cruelty. I'm like, man.
Being murdered. PETA's public tantrum caused Battlefield 3 to receive a lot of press, which may have indirectly led to it making more sales. Number 9. Tug of War, Paddle Battle, and Pedal Power. Mario Party. In the Mario series, 4 players must navigate around a board to obtain coins and stars. Every time the players complete their turn, they take part in a minigame. However, there were 3 minigames which caused a lot of problems, physically and legally. In Tug of War, Paddle Battle, and Pedal Power, the player needs to spin the control stick quickly to win. Many players discovered that they could move the stick faster if they placed their palm on it and wiggled their hand around. Unfortunately, this method caused players to develop blisters and other ailments on their hands.
I'm trying. I gotta take off the control freak. Oh, yo, it's got it. Yo, I just look at this and I realize how wrong this looks when we used to play Mario Party on the Nintendo 64. You're just there like, oh, I got it. Oh my God, yes. I remember this, how we would play when it came to games like that. I realized how wrong that looks. Oh God, we were so innocent. We was just having fun. Oh man. Yo, that's crazy. Nah, not chill, because Mario Party is very competitive. We have to win in Mario Party. Just like Uno, just like Mario Kart, it is competitive. And people are committed. You can't move like this. This is much faster than the thumb. So sometimes you gotta use your palms. But as far as blisters though, I don't believe that. I don't think there were blisters involved. You have to play for hours to do that.
Even though the sequel had no minigames requiring the player to spin the analog stick rapidly, Nintendo were pressured to give out free gloves with every copy of Mario Party 2, costing them, wait for it, $80 million. To avoid a similar incident, Nintendo didn't release Mario Party for the Virtual Console, but had no qualms releasing Mario Party 2.
Too competitive,
in fact, this incident is still being addressed in recent games. The 2021 entry, Mario Party Superstars, includes the infamous minigame Tug of War, but warns players not to use their palms to move the stick, since it will result in pain, blisters, and Nintendo getting sued. Number 8. The Fire Tower.
The only time I ever developed blisters from playing a game was when I used to play Fight Night, the boxing game. That game, the only way you could throw a punch is if you use the analog stick. So pushing up was jab. Then you had to move the analog stick like this, like as if you're throwing a hook. When it got competitive, especially when playing online, you would get blisters. And oh god, that was the only time I knew you could get blisters from a controller. I never knew that would happen to me until I was playing Fight Night. And I wasn't even playing online. I was playing career mode. I was playing against Joe Frazier, Muhammad Ali, Sugar Ray Leonard, George Foreman. Yo, Muhammad Ali was brawling. Like, you really have to throw them sticks, and I got bliss. I beat him, but at what cost? Like,
The Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time. Mario and Zelda creator Shigeru Miyamoto always tries to avoid religious connotations in his games to avoid offending people's faith. Nevertheless, references to religion have popped up in multiple Legend of Zelda entries, most notably Legend of Zelda: Ocarina of Time. Some players noticed that the Gerudo crest found on blocks, signs, and the mirror shield is of a crescent moon, which resembles a prominent Islam symbol. Although this issue was mild, Nintendo promised to remedy it in future ports. However, Ocarina of Time had a much bigger problem. If you listen to the background music in the Fire Temple, you can hear a group of people chanting an Islamic prayer, with the name Allah clearly heard at one point. While the context of this name isn't clear, it's a reference to the phrase, "I bear witness that there is no God but Allah." Because of how stringent Nintendo is with their policies, it's baffling how the game testers didn't think this music was a problem. You probably hear the song like 20 times while playing through the temple. When the game was re-released, this section of the music was removed with a MIDI synthesizer. Number 7.
That's crazy.
A lot of levels are censored. South Park: Stick of Truth. Since Matt Stone and Trey Parker's cartoon debuted, it's caused a stir worldwide. So when Ubisoft developed the RPG South Park: The Stick of Truth, everyone was expecting
for those that never played the
to be
game, I would
slapped
recommend you
with an
watch.
R
I mean,
rating.
you play it.
However,
I heard
fans
it's
were
really
astonished
good.
to learn the game failed to receive a rating from the censor boards in Europe and Australia. The Stick of Truth was eventually released in Europe and Australia, but certain levels were removed, including the anal probe and the abortion clinic sequence. The censors, however, were totally okay with the part where you have to avoid your dad's testicles teabagging you to death. That flew under the radar somehow. As a result, these missions were replaced with an image of the European flag or a crying koala, depending on where you're residing. I got the latter. The bottom of the screen has a piece of text describing what happens in the sections you aren't allowed to play. The biggest issue with this decision is how
South
it screws
Park
up the
is
gameplay
wild.
and the story. At one point, you get abducted on a UFO, break free, anally probe someone, and then battle aliens to escape. But since the censor board removed the anal probe segment, the player misses an entire section. Because there are 7 censored missions, including the final one, it makes the game feel incomplete. Number 6.
That's
Shy Guys
crazy.
Perplex Express. Mario Party 8. Mario Party might seem
Like, what's
like
the point of
harmless
making a game
for
then if
kids,
you're just
but
gonna
it
get
managed to
censored
create
left and right?
controversy not once, but twice. 10 years after the original Mario Party debacle, Nintendo found themselves in the middle of another dispute thanks to Mario Party 8. The game itself is considered among the weakest in the series, with critics taking issue with the poorly constructed single player
Y'all
and
love
the lack
Mario,
of
but y'all
creative
hate
minigames.
Mario.
But over time, the only critique anyone remembers from Mario Party 8 was an unfortunate encounter with the robed Machikoopa, Kamek. When you encounter Bowser's lieutenant in Shy Guys Perplex Express, he uses a specific word to reference the train's movements. Although the word he uses means spasm-like movement in America, it's considered a derogatory term in England and Ireland, forcing Mario Party 8 to be recalled in Europe. It was eventually re-released in Europe
Wait,
with
what?
the flagrant word changed to erratic. Even though the situation was a simple misunderstanding, it encouraged Nintendo to have the English localizations of all their properties reviewed by American and British employees to ensure such an occurrence never happened again. Number 5. By the book. Grand Theft Auto 5. Because Grand Theft Auto has the player driving around and shooting passers-by, you can understand why the series has been controversial
Damn,
since
GTA
it debuted
1, back
in
when everything was
97.
in
So when
Birdview.
GTA 5 was released in 2013, you'd think people would be desensitized by the game's violence. But this installment received so much controversy, it has its own Wikipedia page, which is actually pretty impressive. News outlets, concerned parents, and British Labour Party MP Keith Vaz were demanding the game be banned due to its portrayal of murder, misogyny, and sexual violence. However,
But
it
that's
was the mission
GTA
by the
though,
book
like-
which drew the most ire. In this section, everyone's favorite lunatic Trevor interrogates a man to extract information about a terrorist suspect. To complete the mission, you need to use multiple torture techniques, including electrocution, teeth removal, and waterboarding. Some players saw this horrific sequence as a political commentary, while others believed it was put in the game purely for shock value. value.
totally
the controversy
forgot that was
spawned
a
from this
thing.
mission was so relentless, it led to Grand Theft Auto 5 being banned from certain retailers. Number 4. Manji Dungeon, The Legend of Zelda. The criticism with the original Legend of Zelda is unique. Players had an issue with one dungeon, not because of its content, but because of its structure. You see, each dungeon you enter has a specific shape. One dungeon is shaped like a bird, another is shaped like a crescent, another is shaped like a snake, and so on. The third dungeon is shaped like a manji, which is a Japanese symbol that represents structure and patterns. Unfortunately, the manji is known by a different name in the Western world, the swastika. Because the swastika was used by the Nazi regime to represent their twisted cause, the symbol has been synonymous with evil ever since. However, the manji was used in Japan 1,000 years before World War II. It's also been used by many cultures and religions throughout history to represent peace, hope, honor, and love. But this wasn't common knowledge back in the 1980s, so many Westerners assumed that Nintendo snuck the swastika into the game to indoctrinate players with that Nazi ideology. Even though it was all a big misunderstanding.
Yo, they really saw that and said, yo, is Nintendo trying to start a World War III? I think they try to start a World War III. They just throwing out references of swastikas in these games. I get it. Y'all lost. Y'all want to clap back at them at the Allies again. But if you want to go off, we can go off. And Nintendo's like, wait. What are we talking about? Like, imagine someone wakes you up. It's like, hey, wake up. The Western countries got triggered. They want to talk to you about a swastika in your Zelda game. And you're just like, what? Wait, what?
It's pretty weird that one of Nintendo's biggest IPs contains this infamous symbol. Number 3. Mountain Temple, Tomb Raider. The 2013 remake of Tomb Raider created a mountain of controversy before release due to a scene that occurs early in the game. While exploring the Mountain Temple, Lara Croft is captured and bound by mercenaries. While navigating through the hideout to find a means of escape, one soldier grabs Lara, triggering a quick time event. If the player doesn't respond quickly, the man will strangle Lara to death. If the player inputs the correct sequence of attacks, she will break free and kill her attacker. This scene is meant to be impactful, being that it's the first time Lara Croft takes a human life. This became one of the most memorable moments in the series,
I didn't know
but not
that.
for the reason that the developers hoped. Just before the attacker strangles Lara, he makes a movement as if he's preparing to sexually assault her. Even though Tomb Raider has zero depiction of rape, news outlets across the world condemned the game due to this scene's implication. Although the game is 18 rated and has some incredibly gory moments, nothing caused more debate than this section. Number 2. No Russian. Call of Duty Modern Warfare
Let's
2.
go!
You know a level's gonna be controversial.
The
when
real
game
OGs
gives
know
you the
about this
option
mission.
To skip it entirely. That was the case with the 4th mission of Call of Duty Modern Warfare 2, No Russian. In this segment, you play as an undercover CIA agent who infiltrated a Russian terrorist agency. To gain their trust, you must take part in a mass shooting in a Moscow airport alongside them. Even though you don't have to shoot anyone to complete this mission, the fact that you had the choice to gun down civilians was too horrifying for major news publications to ignore. The outcry was so intense, the level's violence was toned down in international versions and removed entirely from the Russian version. The developing team, Infinity,
I can only imagine they get rid of it on the Russian version.
Stuck to the original plan
I'm pretty sure
of
they
having
feel
to
some
play
sort of
battle
offense to
zombies
that.
in this level, but after the fantasy elements were removed, lead writer Jesse Stern reworked the mission so the protagonist would be involved in a terrorist attack. Upon researching the Columbine High School massacre, Stern thought that having the player being directly involved in the attack was a great way to, quote, put you as close as possible to atrocity. Despite the outcry No Russian caused, the level was included in the remastered version. Number 1.
I will say that whole No Russian thing, yes, I did hear some parts about it, like it may be on the news or on social media and everything, and everyone saying how problematic that was. Because yes, I get it. It's like, you know, the Iraq war was still a thing. People felt some type of way, mass shooting, terrorist attacks, and everything else. I get it. It was completely messed up. But I remember playing that the first time, and I was a bit shocked. I think something changed in me when I saw that. Like, I didn't think that Call of Duty was ever gonna get there. Like, I just came in after Call of Duty 4, and then there was World at War. But World at War was different. It's World War II. Like, yes, World War II was dark. it was the bloodiest war in human history. Yeah, you're gonna see some fucked up scenes in World War II. Alright, I get it. But then they came through with that mission, and I remember when I first played Modern Warfare 2, it says, listen, there are some missions and there's scenes in this game that may be not inappropriate, but it may be, you know, a bit tense for the viewer. Are you sure you want to not disable this and keep it moving with the campaign and play it as is? And I said, yeah, I didn't think anything of it. I was like, how bad could it be? Came across that and I was like, wow, I didn't think it was going to get like that. But I will say that Infinity Ward does a very good job depicting terrorism. They do a very good job at that. Whereas Treyarch does a very good job depicting espionage, being behind the scenes, things like that. You know, you're more behind enemy lines. Whereas Modern Warfare was like, nah, it's hot out in these streets and terrorism is a real fucking thing. And sometimes you gotta do some fucked up shit if it means completing your objective. It was crazy.
Chapter 1, Jackson, The Chalet, The Last of Us Part 2. Spoilers ahead for The Last of Us Part 2 in case you haven't played it yet, and let's get into it. The Last of Us Part 2 may have won more awards than any game in history, but that doesn't change the fact that it also garnered a ton of hate. But what makes this game different from Call of Duty or GTA is how the controversy did not stem from the media. Instead, it came from the players. Even though there are many issues which infuriated fans, the most shocking moment was when antagonist Abby beats Joel to death with a golf club.
I remember that. I remember when that scene came out, or when the game was out, and Joel just got killed right then and there. Almost like, it became like a whole debate. Like, there was people that really sat there and said it was so stupid that you had Joel with you from the entirety of part 1 of The Last of Us, and in part 2, you're only like an hour in, and for context, Joel is at a mall and there's a whole bunch of clickers everywhere, and he comes across these strangers. Now, mind you, Joel kind of has a bad rep right now because Ellie was supposed to be, not sacrificed, but she was supposed to give herself up to science so they could find a cure, because Ellie has this immunity to the virus. So everyone was out for Joel's blood, you know? So then Joel is out doing his thing with one buddy of his. Ellie wasn't there at the mall, and they escape with some strangers that they just so happen to come across. So Joel and his buddy follow these strangers to this little base, this little holdout that they have. And everyone's like, oh, you know, that was close, you know, we could have been killed there. You're a good, you a good guy, man. What's your name? And he goes, I'm Joel. And then the group is looking at him, the group of strangers look at him, they're like, wait, Joel who? And he's like, I'm Joel such and such. And they were like, that's the fucker right there. Yo, shoot him. And that's where you see the scene with the girl take the shotgun and blast his kneecap off. And it was just this scene, and they just killed him. And then Ellie somehow found Joel in this room, and she's crying. And I get it. Gamers had a very strong connection with Joel. So just to see the main character of this franchise just die because he just gave his government name away to some random strangers that were just so happened to look for him didn't make sense, because it's like, Joel is better than that. He wouldn't just tell random strangers his government, especially if his name is hot in the streets. Like, people are looking for him. So the story to them was very poorly done. They didn't think he didn't have to die that way. There's millions of other ways he could die. That wasn't it. Like, it was a huge thing. It was honestly a huge thing.
Since this story takes place in a post-apocalyptic society, killing off the main character of the series doesn't sound too surprising. But the reason why so many people were pissed off is because Joel is killed at the beginning of the game. Because he was the protagonist of the first Last of Us, everyone assumed it would be the same for the follow-up. The trailers gave every indication you would play as Joel, so fans felt cheated to see him being snuffed out.
But that's the point. But I don't think you're not supposed to be angry at that. That's the point. Because then then you would have the next group of people that would be like, oh, this trailer is giving away too much information. It already told the whole story. The trailer itself is the spoiler. But the moment you hide the fact that the main protagonist of the game dies, it's like, oh, we was cheated. You told us that he would be there throughout the entire experience. How did he just die like that? That's insane. Like, that's so weird. That's so weird. Like, pick a side. I would rather not know that Joel dies just out of shock value. Like, I would rather that than just, oh, we know he's gonna die. We don't know when, but we know he's gonna die. Oh,
After only playing as the character for an hour, some
God.
players were so enraged they review bombed the game to oblivion and sent death threats to the actress who portrayed Joel's killer.
That
which,
whole
of course,
outrage
we
was
shouldn't
so
have to say
cringe.
Here is super not cool. That is the end of our list, but let me know down.
That whole outrage was just so cringe. Honestly, it's like, wait, y'all are mad that a protagonist is dead? Like, this happens at nearly half the games that we play. Like, all right, like, protagonists die. Like, that's a very ballsy move. I don't think Naughty Dog should have went the route that they did to kill off Joel. Yes, there's many ways to kill Joel, but at the end of the day, like, that's storytelling, you know? Some people are good at killing off their protagonist. It invokes emotion, and I think a lot of developers behind these games, they look at it as art. Yes, you could play these games, but it's art at the end of the day. And sometimes you have to appreciate that art, but this was the kind of art that people just did not respect. They were like, Joel did not have to die. You didn't have to kill him like that. Oh, man, that's crazy. All right, I want to wrap it up. It's already 10:30. I'm a little bit exhausted. I'm going to let y'all go. Thank you so much for stopping by for YouTube night. Will I stream tomorrow? Most likely. Again, I am trying to push the stream every Mondays and Tuesdays. I will not be available next week. I would say this Friday moving forward because I'm going to be working. And then after I work, I'm going to be going away to New Orleans. So I'm not going to be around for quite some time. There might be like a solid week and change that I'm not going to be making content or anything like that. So just a heads up for those that are watching and everything. But I have my Discord. I'll give you guys more information on Discord to let you know when, hey, I'm going to be gone from this time to this time. So just a heads up. But until then, y'all, I'm going to wrap it up. Yes, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Yes, yes, yes. I'll see you later. Yeah, I'm going to be out. Just be out. Hells yeah. You already know. I heard the seafood is crazy in New Orleans. I'm not sure if y'all went to New Orleans, but I heard New Orleans is crazy. I got a shellfish allergy, so let me not flirt with that. I'm going to say, I have a shellfish allergy, so let me be careful with that. I find my shellfish allergy to be weird because I can eat like a lobster tail and I'll catch like a little reaction. Like itchy lip, itchy tongue and everything, but then let it be like shrimps or crabs. I'll eat that and I will get no reaction. It's really weird. I also met a customer that had an allergy to, say, like geese, like the feathers of geese, but when it comes to duck and goose, they don't get any reaction. Or not goose, I'm sorry, swans, no reaction. Like, it's really weird. But yeah, anyways, I'm going to let y'all go. Enjoy the rest of your night. I will see you guys tomorrow. Hopefully we play something. I'm still thinking about what game to play tomorrow. Had that in the back of my head. And yeah, I'll see you around. Peace, y'all. Peace and love in the Middle East. Take care. And enjoy your video games. Enjoy your video games, please. Do that for me.